Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hollis-tics, and I am your host, Hollis-tics, joining you every evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You may be driving while you're listening to this. All good in the hood? Can you hear? I think so. We're doing a little housekeeping in real time. This didn't start yet. Maybe I'll play the intro again. Did I select Rumble on the stream? Is it not there? Uh-oh. Let's check this out real time. See, here we are. Even the best laid plans. We may even do a redo in like 2 minutes because Rumble is where it's at. So go over here and see if my comments are over here. I'm good. We're good. Okay, so should we do like a restart? Are you sick of the intro? I love that restart. Okay, we're good on Rumble. Because you know what? I have to give a big shout out to Rumble. You know, if you've been watching it all, I am Hollis Mahady. I am your host. I'm here on Hollis-tics, and this is stream number 10. And we're getting better each day, but even if you, like I said, best laid plans, is it working? Oh, producer, board op, I should say. I don't have either of those. I have just me. So we're doing this all in real time. So forgive me because we keep it real here. And I'm a very honest person and I kind of tell you what's going on. But we are good. But I wanted to do a big shout out to Rumble because I see it on Rumble here. And I went through the trouble today of putting a whole description of what the show is about, which we're going to get into. I'm very excited about this episode. So with that said, there we go. Let's try it one more time for those who are driving. And it's only a short little commercial. So we're going to do a redo because then I could cut this part out when I re-air it and it'll look like it was all just really well planned. And the best laid plans went well and they were best laid. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Here we go, the intro. Let's see if I can play that. And we're going to do a do-over because I've practiced this now about Welcome to Hollis-tics. And we're going to have a great show tonight. It is Wednesday. What kind of Wednesday is it tonight? Wicked Wednesday? No. We're not wicked here. But I did wear my outfit because we're going to get into a bit of the shadows. So I have some wonderful things in store for you this evening. So if I could find the intro, board op. We were going to have a board op here tonight, but he had something he had to do that he forgot, but that's okay because he's going to be here eventually. So let's see if I could play this again. Oh, here, outro video. Where's the intro video? I might not be able to do this. I might not be able to do it after all. After all that, hold on one second. Let me try it here. Again, forgive me, guys, but you may just be, I know Joe's going to be tuning in or he is listening. He's driving home. So this is all a warm up. So let's add a video file and let's go to the desktop. This is what it's all about here. And let's go here. And one more time. Where is it? I made this intro. I picked this song. I made this video. If I could find it. Of course, nothing's ever there when you need it. Hollis-tics, new outro. No, we don't want the outro. Remember on episode 3, I kept playing the outro like 5 times. This is what happens. All right, this may not be. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We'll play another commercial, and then I'm going to come in and pretend we're doing a do-over. Because it's going to go smoothly tonight. I'm determined on this. All right, we're going to pretend this is the intro. Here we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hollis-tics. I'm your host, Hollis Mahady, joining you live every night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, wherever you may be in the world watching this. Maybe you're just scrolling by and you stop the scroll. I'm here to say, hey, give it a chance. Stay a little while because here we are keeping it real and we're having a good time tonight. I already know it's good. So I want to always say in the beginning of the episode that you're doing great. And I like to give everybody a round of applause because I don't think we always hear that enough. So I want to just say before we start the show, because we like to get into the good vibe here, in case no one told you today, you are doing great. Don't give up if there's something you're doing and you're trying to do and you might be frustrated. Don't give up. And I'm here to give you a little round of applause. So I've learned here. Do the applause over here because it sounds so much better. So this one's going out to all you guys, all you returning fans, those in the chat room. I'll check the chat room out in a couple minutes here. And those who maybe are just stopping in for the first time, this one's for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Hollis Mahady. And just to get the housekeeping out of the way, a little house in order. We're getting our house in order and we're doing housekeeping. And I say this in the beginning of the show. My website over here, hollismahady.com. I do accept tips, and that reminds me to put on my background. Here we go. Watch this. Watch this. Here it comes. There it is. There she is. As you can see to her. Yeah, it's opposite for me. Left. Tips support the show. If you were here last night and you caught episode number 9, my angel cat Tinklepaw, she's over there. This show is always dedicated to our loved ones who are no longer with us because they are always with us in our hearts. And this is always dedicated to them, including my dad. And on the bottom there, it says Real Humans Only, the Reconnection Movement. And if you don't know what that is, go ahead back, all the way back last Saturday, to episode number 1, my first Hollis-tics podcast, because now we're in the double digits tonight. We're made it to episode 10, and everything's going smoothly. But Real Humans Only, I talk a lot about the reconnection movement, and the reconnection movement is something I wrote over 10 years ago, and I didn't write it with ChatGPT. I wrote it out of my own mind, and it was channeled through me, and it's a lot of what we talk about. I bring it up for a reason, the digital age and AI and all that stuff. So if you missed that episode, it's all there for the replay. I go through the long trouble of uploading these episodes everywhere. So, people have the best chance to find them. They are all on my website now at www. I'm not going to say that anymore. I think you guys are smart enough to know, well, you need the www dot there. But hollismahady.com, all the episodes are there if you want to go and binge watch your favorite episodes this weekend or check it out. And they are also on the Rumble. They are on my YouTube. And they are also, I'm about to, did I do it yet? No, some of them are on my buymeacoffee.com. So you'll be able to find them. So they're all up there. And again, on the left-hand side there, everything I just said. And I say this, I do accept tips. I mention this every episode. I used to be a bartender, and every time I poured a drink, I got $1. And in these episodes, I'm pouring out a lot more than a drink. I'm pouring out my soul. I'm offering love advice, dating advice. I'm offering music. I'm talking a lot about music and just offering connection to everybody. And for that, if you are enjoying the show, if you do like it and you want to tip and drop $1 in the tip jar, all you got to do is go to buymeacoffee.com, and it's on the screen there. It's scrolling across the bottom. It is at hollismahady.com. Right when you go there, right on the bottom, there's a little button. It says buy me a coffee. And you could scan that lovely QR code. There's a reason why it's right there. And it says, drop a tip to be entered to win a lyric painting. And we're going to get into all that tonight. And tonight, because we did hit our goal of $100, you see that down there? When I started on episode 1, I didn't know what was going to happen. If anyone would drop a tip, and if you are a longtime listener from 10 days ago, you remember I had the tip jar, and we talked a lot about the tip jar. But as I'm doing my dating of different streaming platforms, I've settled on StreamYard, and StreamYard made it a lot easier in certain areas. But unfortunately, I had to get rid of the tip jar. And that was so cool because all the little coins dropped into the cup, and it made it very fun. But maybe one day we'll be able to get that tip jar back. And if anyone knows how to do that, please let me know or offer your help. I would gladly take it because we like the tip jar. But because we hit that goal of $100, and that is definitely something we should give a round of applause for. Oh, I got a big hand to all of you who've made that happen. Thank you so incredibly much. We hit the $100 and we're restarting it again. So the next time we hit $100, and I'll be better about this, I'll see exactly where we are. We're a little bit over $100 now, which is awesome. And when we hit that next $100, our goal, I will be giving away another lyric sheet. And I promised last night we would do it, and then I forgot to put all the names in the bowl. But I did not forget. I became prepared tonight. And here we go. We're not going to do it yet. We're going to do this at the end of the episode. So stay tuned to the end if you want to see if you won. And it is in my sound bowl here. Which a sound bowl is something else we can talk about. So the vibes and the frequencies and everything, the sound bowl. So all the names are in there. And the people who dropped a tip, every time they dropped a tip, their name went in again. So the more you drop, the better chance you have to win a lyric sheet, a handmade lyric sheet. And these are from all of my songs on the album that I hand painted. They're signed. They're very sentimental and valuable to me. And I also do sell them on my website as well. So if it's something you're interested in, you could go over and check that out. I will put a picture of it up on the screen here if I could find it. These are ways you can support the show. And again, sorry, this is the housekeeping. We get that. No, I wouldn't say it's boring, but I think it's necessary to describe who I am and why I'm saying, tip me or asking for your money. Because you may be like, why would I give her money? Everybody's asking for money, right? But if you keep coming back, you'll learn a little bit more about me and why it's important to tip and help if you can. $1 here and there. If you're enjoying the show and you can't tip, share it out. Let someone know. Email it to them. Retweet it. Drop a nice comment. It always helps. It helps a lot with engagement and all that BS that us people here doing this stuff have to deal with in order to try to make any kind of money. So here we go. These are ways to support. Over on Buy Me a Coffee, we have the support. This is the way you could support the podcast and my music. I have a website shop at hollismahady.com. Head over there. And those are the lyric sheets I'm talking about. I am selling them for $50. And any monies raised goes towards promoting and advertising the new album. I also have my old music collection up there. It may be new to you. It's older to me, but if you never heard it, it's actually a new music collection. Over 30 plus songs on that, including a bunch of covers I did, a Christmas album, some of the music I did with my band. I also do a personalized song request. If there's a song you really want covered, I will record it personally for you, dedicate it to you, and send you that MP3 of it. I also offer creative services. I do lots of different commercials. So if that's something you're interested in, you need something for your business, I always say, hire a human. Don't use AI. You can use AI, and I'm sure you have to pay to use something with them. But, for a little bit more, you get that personalized human touch. And if you got a voiceover you want done, it doesn't sound like a robot, or I will know how to pronounce your name correctly. If you head over to buymeacoffee.com, and that's also linked on my website, but it's actually pretty easy, or scan that QR code. You can become a member if you're interested. There's a difference between a supporter and a member, but a member is you could get one of these tiers, and they come with all different things. So you could head over to there, and if you get the backstage pass, that's where I do another exclusive podcast that you won't find anywhere else except there. So these are all ways, again, housekeeping, kind of boring stuff. I guess it's not boring. Is it boring? It's all about the delivery, I always say. But these are all really important. And, it's just, it helps a lot. And again, I have to say thank you so much to the people who have supported already. You guys are amazing. And I really, really, truly appreciate it. So throughout the show, I just, it's like a commercial. I go and I say, let's get rid of this. How am I going to get rid of this here? Here it is. There we go. I'm back. If you're enjoying it, you want to support, you can get something for your money. I'm very creative and I like to give value to the people who listen. So with that said, I think I got everything covered. Let's head over to the chat room real quick. I want to say hi to everyone who's in here. I saw a couple comments, and then we'll get into the show. We are into the show, but into the meat of the show, the meat and the potatoes. So we got Jim Tim in the house tonight. Thank you, Jim, for coming by, and Maga Dirt Bike. And yes, thank you so much. Have a rocking day, and let's go. Let's go making things happen, Jim. Jim Tim says, hi, Hollis. Let's go making things happen. Blood, sweat, and tears plus some. Yes, we are doing it. That's what I said. Consistency is key, right? Consistency. I'm just showing up for you, and you guys are showing up for me. So I really appreciate it. But we are in the double digits tonight, and we've come a long way since episode 1. And, today was one of those where I woke up today and I was thinking, well, what am I going to talk about on the show tonight? Because I don't really plan it. as we said, I don't plan what comes out. But sometimes I'll think, oh, maybe a topic and something will spark an idea for the show. Like, for instance, I think it was episode 3. It was, the comment of the day sparked the episode, the title, like get a real job and other bad advice and stuff like that. And I talked about being a creative person and when people tell you, oh, get a real job and all that. So I was kind of like, okay, we talked a lot. We talk about a lot of different things here. And the chat is great because the chat really sometimes guides the conversation. Someone asks a question or, we're talking about something and it goes in a different direction. And we've talked about, even in this week, 10 days, 10 podcasts. We've spanned a lot of ground here. Is that the word, spanned? We've covered a lot of ground. We got some relationships, health. And I was like, well, what can I talk about today? Well, I mean, like I said, I don't plan it out, but sometimes you have like maybe something in mind, like St. Patrick's Day. I was like, okay, I'm going to talk a little about Scranton and reminisce. And then TGI Fridays, I was like, we should talk about the 80s today. So I was thinking, and I will read actually what I put for the Rumble description here about what the show is about tonight. Okay. And you'll see that I wore when I was picking out my outfit, I was like, okay, it relates. It relates. So, episode number 10 of Hollis-tics. And it's titled Hollis-tics, episode 10, Shadow Dance, Into the Shadow. The story behind my song, Shadow Dance. And it says, step into the shadows with me on tonight's episode of Hollis-tics. I'm debuting the official lyric video for my song, Shadow Dance, a deeply personal piece that was born from my own journey through darkness, healing, and self-discovery. This isn't just a song, it's a story. It says, tonight I'm opening up about the hero's journey, the process of shadow work, and what it really means to face the parts of yourself most people try to avoid. The truth is, life isn't about escaping the darkness. It's about learning how to dance with it. I'll be sharing the real life experiences, pain, growth, and breakthroughs that inspired Shadow Dance and how those moments shaped not just the music, but who I am today. If you've ever felt lost, questioned everything, like I have, or found yourself somewhere between breaking and becoming, this episode's for you. So that's, I do throw that into ChatGPT and it came up with that. But I was like, okay, they want to talk about this. And they come up with it because it takes so long to write it. So I copy and paste it, but then I read it and it's all from me. But there's an example. I do use AI for some of this stuff. Otherwise, I'll be like typing forever. But yes. And we talked about it last night. Well, we talked a lot last night. Was that last night already? I told the story about Tinkle Paw. And I was saying on that episode, what happened to her was right before I was about to go and do a show at Montage Mountain. And that was the first time I ever played Shadow Dance live on a stage. And I was leading up to, it was the first time I ever played by myself on stage, as far as all my own songs. I didn't have a whole big band behind me and all that. And it was the first time I had backing tracks and I had a laptop, because when I came back after being in bands for seems like forever, I was like, oh, now we're in this new age, right? Of all these AI and everything. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to use backing tracks. I don't care. I played along with them. Like, I created all the backing tracks. I went to a studio and we ripped the vocals off. And I said, leave the piano off because I'm going to play the piano live. But I'm done. Gone are the days, for now anyway, because I might have a bug back in me and I do want to play with the band again someday, but I just don't want to deal with the drama. So for now, the drums were programmed, but I said, let's leave it off so I could play along with it. And I did the show at Montage, and we're going to talk about that. I actually have a clip from that, because as I was getting into what I was going to talk about today, I was like, thinking, oh, I want to save that for Comedy of Errors, my other podcast about music. But then I thought, you know what? No, I just want to talk about it. And I have some props here. And that's why I wore my dark here, because Shadow Dance, I talk about, right? We're learning the darkness. Like, you go through all these parts and these experiences and trauma in your life and lots of different stuff, right? Like from death and relationships and all that. And, 10 years ago, life was a lot easier. All these things didn't happen. And I was living through different experiences. But it really wasn't until after I got back, when COVID hit in 2020, and I went back to Scranton. It was the first time I was there after 15 years. And at that time, I had said my dad had passed away and everything, and I try not to curse. I say I won't say it. Shit. Hit the fan. I guess that's not too bad. That hit the fan, and because I don't know what other word that would work with that crap. Hit the fan, and everything went. Didn't work, right? So I was back, and I'm just like, and of course, at that moment, all these songs are like pouring out of me, as I've talked about before. And it was when I was back in my mom's house, and I was in her little workshop in the garage thing, and I had my laptop, and I just started playing my guitar, and this song had just came out. It was called Shadow Dance, and at the time it wasn't called Shadow Dance, but the melody started coming out, and like I said, I had a lot of my dad's stuff around. It was a magical moment, and I actually have it captured online on my phone. When if I know some of you guys don't play music and you're just watching, but people say, "Well, where was that song inspired from? What happened?" I have it on my voice memo, and I was just strumming the guitar and kind of humming and stuff, and I was looking outside because it was April or May, and the flowers were coming up and everything, and I think my mom had a little garden gnome thing or an angel on the stone and in the backyard, like one of those little not furniture, but what are they called? Like a statue or like a trinket, a garden furniture thingy. And it said something like back to the garden. I said, yeah, we go back to the garden. Or it was another song or something. But was like, I was thinking a lot about life and nature and just strumming, and it kind of came out. So let's see. Oh, and then I made a lyric video for it. And that's what it says on Think We're going to debut it, because I'm in charge of doing whatever I want with my music. And to be honest, this song is going to be officially one of the last ones I put out, which is weird why I'm going to put it out right now. I'm not even putting it out. It's not available anywhere, but that's why you got to come into the live show where you can get a sneak peek of all these things. Because, when you release music, there's this whole thing about it and how do you want to put it out the right way, and Spotify. I mean, I don't have to do any of that. I could do whatever I want. That's the beauty of it, right? When you're your own boss, or when you have your own record label, like Voice of Freedom Records, which I'm going to be putting it out on. But I knew it as soon as I played this song. As soon as it came out, I heard it all. I wanted strings on it, and I was like, "Oh, the shadow dance! You're learning the dance of life, but the shadow is the dark, and we run." I mean, I know I do. I'm not speaking for everyone, but the darkest parts of yourself, sometimes we run from them, or we try to avoid them, or we just give into them, and then that's when people say you're demons and things like that. But your shadow is the part that they say, well, integrate. If you could integrate it and not run away and learn, because I think no one wants to be dark and like sad and depressed, but we are sometimes, and that's life, and that's what happens. And if you could kind of look at yourself, look at your shadow, because I just feel like life's always, it's an inner turmoil. We always say like we're our own worst enemies, and there's the angel and the devil and the mirror, and who's really in the mirror and all that stuff. So looking at the shadow, or having experiences that bring out that dark shadow of you. And that had happened to me for a long time. Many experiences. Like I said, I used to drink a lot, and it's like, oh, when you drink, like, who is that? Where does that person come from? Like, what is that? So it was like, and again, you don't really, until you're out of it, or maybe until you look back, that you're able to really evaluate and grow from it, or write a song about it or whatever. But that was how I was expressing my, I don't know, growth. But it just came out. So I did do a lyric video for it a while ago, actually, because last year I was going to put this all out, and S word again. What's the crap hit the fan? I'm trying not to curse. I'm being good, but it hit the fan, and nothing that I planned actually worked out on time. And that's why I said, oh, give them control is ever going to happen. And it did happen, like, because we can't always plan it as much as our little mind, and we want to be in control and everything. Like I always say, I guess it wasn't the right time, because it didn't happen, and I wasn't in the right space. I was trying to make it happen, but it didn't happen. So I had this video for a long time, and then I thought I lost it. I was so mad. It's like, oh, like because I spent a lot of time on it. Or it's just the lyric video. I'm not in it because I want to actually record a proper music video for it. This one, I already have the outfit and everything. And I'm like, Cleveland is the place where I'm going to be able to record this finally. Even my mom, probably like 2 years ago, I was like, will you be in my music video? I had all these like scenes in my head and I wanted to shoot it. It never happened yet. But so I've been planning it for a while, but it is going to probably be the last song on the album because really the lead up to all of the shadow is that you have to go into the darkness. We don't have to. I'm not telling anyone to go into the darkness. All I'm saying is for my journey, because eventually it can lead to the light. I enjoy being in the light so much more, but maybe I never would have got into the light more if you didn't go through those dark, deep places. And it's not fun. It sucks, and really looking at yourself and all that stuff. So that's what my whole album's about. And that's what Shadow Dance is about. So I have the lyric video here. And let's see. Before I go on, let me just make in the comment section here. We got Aaron Mashad in the house. Aaron, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming by again tonight. I love having you guys. Garden gnomes. Yeah, it was something like that, Jim. It was like my mom always had these little frogs that played instruments. She had cute things in her yard. And I do believe it was a stone and it had an angel on it. And it said something like, we're back in the garden or back to the garden. And I always thought about that, like, the Garden of Eden and all that stuff. Where does it all start? What is all that stuff? And I just thought it was cool. We're going to go back to the garden and we're going to dance and figure it all out. And we end up going back to where we started or back to the garden. And so, like I said, I did play it live only one time. And I'm really looking forward to making a video for that. And I see green, I see gardens, I see a whole dance cast. This is why we need some money here because it costs money to make these things happen. Otherwise, yes, you could do it yourself, but it's very special to me. And there's a reason I hold back, and I'm not holding back anymore. I'm here every night with that. But my music is something very important to me because it just took so long to write, and I'm so happy with it. I want the visuals to match. I don't want to put out something that's not exactly what I see in my head. And the great thing is now that I edit videos and stuff, I can edit a lot of it. But I see a whole cast. I see a cast. And again, these things cost money. So if you're enjoying the show, if you'd like to drop a tip in the tip jar, you can do that. And let me go over here real quick. I'm so happy to have all you guys here tonight. And we're going to get into it. Oh, here, let me show you this real quick. So this is the shadow dance. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this was going to say, did I get my PDF in here? I don't know if I actually got it because I made this whole thing and it's actually on my Buy Me a Coffee. So this is where I say if you become a member or supporter, I think it's a $5 a month one. I made a whole PDF about the shadow dance and it goes into things like the hero's journey. I don't know if any of you guys know what that is. You probably you do. But I saw a lot of my life and something called the hero's journey. And there's these it's a wheel and there's different parts you're on, and a lot of movies like Star Trek, I think is one, probably a lot, but you go, it's like the arc of the movie and you go from like the beginning and then I wish I had it. Board up. Will you pull up my, my hero's journey diagram that I have, but I can't find it. It's here somewhere. But it is on my Buy Me a Coffee. And if you download that and you get it for free, if you sign up, it's just like, I think the $2, whatever. And it's this whole little book I put together. It's a PDF and it talks about that. And it talks about the hero's journey. And it's, it's just like you're the character and you're starting here. And then I don't have the exact details, but it goes like you meet your challenge. And then you're like in a movie, right? You're in the beginning, there's the background, and then you leave home for the journey. That's it. You're home, you're in Scranton, right? And it's like, okay, now I'm going to go on the journey. Like that's the movie, right? You see the background, you meet the character. The next thing now, the event happens. Okay, now you're going on the journey. So that's like the plot in the movie. You're going to whatever happens, right? So you're going there, then you're living through that journey. And then the climax happens when everything's going to get better or fall apart, and then it's the breakthrough. I need it up here. If anyone has it, look at it. It's good. So let me see if I could find it actually, and I will go over the comments real quick. Okay. And if I could find it, we'll get it up here. Let me see if I can find it. I'll put a little commercial real quick here. Here you go. Here's a little bit about music here. Need some new tunes to listen to? Why not try the Hollis-tics Music Collection? As I move towards the new, I'm closing an old chapter with gratitude. To celebrate the new music on the horizon, I've gathered my complete past collection and made it available all in one place. The collection includes 2 full albums with my previous band Love Zombies, Passion Fruit, and No Slow songs recorded live at Abbey Road Studios, the Be Honest EP with Love Zombies, Hollis original songs, Hollis cover songs, a bonus Christmas album. And this collection represents the journey that brought me here today and the doorway into what's next. To purchase the music collection, head over to hollismahady.com and go to the store. All funds raised go directly towards promoting and advertising my new album on my own label, Voice of Freedom Records. Thanks so much for supporting independent music. All right. So I pulled it up and I remember, see, this is the part. I have it here. Okay. And if I share the screen, that's it. The Joseph Campbell, The Hero's Journey. It's just a basic. Here's the basic one. Oh, here it is. Okay. I want to share it. Maybe my producer in the other room will hear me saying, I want to share it. And he will come out and help me put this up here. Because it makes more sense. Let's see. Okay. Here it is. See, this is where Tom would come into a lot of handy if he was here. But he's coaching baseball tonight. So, okay. Well, we're going to have to come back to it. So in the meantime, let's listen to a little Dr. Wayne, and then we'll get it up here.
The next principle I call don't die with your music still in you. And who better to quote than Thoreau right here in Concord when he talked about some of us hear a different drummer and we must march to the music that we hear. But all of you, everybody watching, everybody here in this beautiful parish, all of you have some music playing. And all of you have a heroic mission. There's no accidents in this universe. We all show up here with a purpose. There's an intelligence that is a part of everything and everyone, and all of us are connected to it. And too many of us are afraid to listen to that music and march to it. You out there, I know you have a book you wanted to write. I know there's a composition you wanted to compose. I know there's a song you want to sing someplace. Maybe you want to raise horses out in Montana. Or maybe you want to open up an ice cream shop on Cape Cod. Who knows what it may be. Maybe you just want to travel and see the world. Maybe you want to go into a relationship with someone but you've been afraid to, but your heart says it's the right thing to do. All of us feel something. And in Leo Tolstoy's famous novel, The Death of Ivan Ilyich, he asks this question that would be terrifying to me. He says, as he has his accountant from Moscow lying on his deathbed, contemplating the horror of this question, what if my whole life has been wrong? I've known what my music is. It's playing right now.
Holly's Playhouse is a raw, real, and emotionally charged docu-style miniseries following the turbulent journey of me, singer-songwriter Hollis-tics, who left Scranton, Pennsylvania in 2010 to chase stardom in Hollywood. For nearly a decade, I fought to make my mark in the entertainment industry, until 2019, when the world changed overnight. Told through a lens of humor, heartbreak, and hope, this is a deeply personal series that captures the highs and lows of a creative spirit navigating sudden change. If you want to check it out, head over to www.vopusaradio.com. Just go down to the Arts and Entertainment channel and you'll find it there for free to watch. That didn't work. So we will go back to that. We will go back to that. We'll get that next. So I want to say something. Hold on. So we will get the hero's journey up here because it's actually very interesting. It's very interesting because you see, I think everybody, I always say this, that everybody is the character, the main character in their own life. And so when you look at it like that, and that's what they say, like a lot of movies are written in that, that path or whatever. They're like, it goes through this arc. And when you know this and you start looking at it, you see it in movies and then you could apply it to your own life. And I think that's really cool. And that's why I think it's very interesting writing. And when you're writing, because I'm writing a TV show and all that stuff. And I apply it to that. But you really, the most interesting is when you can apply it to your own life and you can be like, oh, what struggle did I overcome? What stage am I at the hero's journey? Because we're all our own hero of our own lives. So with that said, we'll jump to another subject, but it's still in the line of shadow dance here. It was funny because, like I said, this morning, when I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about shadow dance and we'll play the lyric video in a little bit. And I was like, I'm going to get that clip. So I like to play a live clip and show you the little clip it from montage. It was the only time I've ever played it live. And this was a special show. Like I said last night, it was a hard show because the kitty, she passed away right before it. And it was horrible. And I had the coat on with her picture and everything. But there's a string part in shadow dance. And when I recorded it, it wasn't live strings. I've been very forthright. I couldn't afford to have a whole live band. I was like, you know what? I've had so many bands, just program the drums. I don't care. And I played the piano, but I turned it into a string arrangement. So, if you know about recording it all, and if you don't, that's how it works. Your keyboard can turn into different sounds. So it sounds like a strings, but it wasn't a real violin player on it. But when I went live, I had someone in mind. And it's just funny how things work out, right? So there's a guy that I met in 5th grade. And I'm going to give him a big shout out. And I know he doesn't care if I use his last name. His name is Mark Woodiat. And Mark he was a prodigy. I mean, he still is. I mean, even back then, he came into the 5th grade class. I think he just moved or he transferred schools. And I remember the 5th grade teacher was like, this kid, he could play the violin so good. I mean, even at 5th grade, he was playing, I'll never forget. I mean, he was a virtuoso. He's a prodigy. I say there's some kids just like they come out and like they were born to do music. I mean, it just lives in their soul. And he was so good. And it wasn't until, we went to high school together and I was away for so long. And then I went and I did my thing and I believe, and I'm hoping maybe we could get him on the show, but he's played in philharmonic orchestras. I mean, he could speak more exactly he's done a lot, he's awesome. And just today, when literally right after I was thinking about shadow dance, and I had it on my computer open because I had the whole show, and I didn't want to play the whole show. I just want to play the clip of shadow dance after I play the lyric video, or maybe I'll play that first. Doesn't really matter, but I literally had it open, and I was on Instagram, and who pops up but Mark Woodiat, and there was a post he put up, and he was crying. But it wasn't a bad cry. It was a happy crying. And I was just talking about this last night, literally, that it's okay to cry. And a couple shows ago, I said, real music, right? Music is we are vessels. Musicians are vessels. Like some of them, people who are doing it because they can't not do it. Like someone like me. Yeah, I'm not doing it to be famous anymore or be a rock star or go to LA and make it. I'm doing it because it lives in my soul, because it's part of me. Because if I don't get it out, my life wouldn't be complete. You do it. Yeah, I hope to make some money from it. Again, I have a great album and I think I will, and I want to drop a tip, buy my merchandise. Great. But it's one of those things like, if I never made $1 from it, would I still do it? Yeah, of course. And most real musicians do. It's like it's part of them. If you deny that part of yourself, you're not you're not full. And Mark is one of those who, so anyway, I saw his video and he's crying in it. And it was moving. I had tears in my eyes watching it, because I said last week, I said, I want, when's the last time you heard a song and it really moved you, made you cry? Not maybe it doesn't have to be sad, but like a song. And this is with the AI I'm talking about a lot. Like, AI will never be able to replicate that. AI could come up with a hit hook in a minute. Like, it's stuff you could remember. They're good songs. But the soul, I always say, the soul behind the song, the soul behind the artist, the soul that, many people they stop doing music because they're trying to make it with it. And it's hard. And most people don't, to be honest, it's like, I always say, there's that top tier of people who are millionaires from music, but there's a game you have to play. And there's a price tag that comes with that. And there's gatekeepers. There's certain, that's life, right? Get to life. You have to go through this and this and this. And some people just don't want to play that game because they're not playing music just to become famous or to become a rock star. Like I said, there's people who are literally vessels of God. They are doing it. Music has a vibration. There's certain hertz, and the 432 hertz, I believe that's the one the Beatles used. Music is healing. I always talk about this, as music is so important. And when I saw that, I have the clip, and I'm sure he wouldn't care if I shared it. It's on Instagram. But I was just, and I think a lot of people don't put clips out of them crying. Even look at last night. I was like, should I put a clip out of me crying? I don't know. It's just, you're being vulnerable. But that's the thing. This guy is real. He is a vessel. He is a channel. You could just tell it comes from above and out through him. For someone who's in 5th grade to be a virtuoso like that, you're born to do this. And that's why I always say, yeah, everyone this day and age could be a musician, could be a star, is an entertainer. But there's some people who are just the real deal. And then you could try to be that. But did you dedicate your life to it? Was it literally a gift that you would have sacrificed your whole life for? A lot of people don't make a lot of money from music, myself included. You didn't get the big break, or maybe you did, but you didn't take, you messed it up or whatever, the record deal. But there's the ones like us who are still doing it because it's not really a choice. And we feel we have a duty to put our music out to help heal ourselves, help others who maybe enjoy it and connect with it. But it's a duty. And because music is it's a vibe, like I said, and it's healing. It's healing. And so maybe I'll play the video, but I couldn't believe it when I saw just the timing of it. I literally had him up on the screen. I was like, I'm going to talk about Shadow Dance today. I'm going to play the clip with Mark because it was my favorite part of the whole show. Like I said last night, or I said a couple days ago, the crap that you go through to get those 30 minutes on stage. You live for the stage. That's the fun part. That's the best part. You travel to get there. You pay for the equipment. You have to talk to promoters. You're doing 95% of work all the time to make those 30 minutes happen, or that hour or 2 hours or whatever. And even this show, I remember Mark was going to play a second song with me, Edenshire. And we never got to play it because at the end, the guy was like, oh, time's up. We have to cut it. I don't know why I wasn't able to play the song, but I was very annoyed because that's my other song that has strings in it. I have 2 songs that have string in it. And I remember I was playing live. I got that grant, or I was able to go do my backing tracks. And I said, keep the violin off because I want to get a live player. And I have someone in mind. I want to see if he'll do it. And keep the piano off so we could have the drum and the rest of it. But keep that blank. So when we're live, I'm playing the piano live and he's going to be able to play the violin. So I called him when I was back in Scranton and I got the show at Montage, and I was like, it was a big undertaking because I like to challenge myself and I wanted to come back. I knew I was going to come back eventually, but I had to record all these songs and do my own original songs and everything. And they were all songs I wrote, and Shadow Dance was of course one of them. And like I said, it was hard. It was a challenge. It was the first time with the laptop on stage and all that. But anyway, so I remember I would be so cool if Mark could play with me, because Mark was someone in my, honestly, like, I guess I always had a thing for musicians. I don't think he was ever my boyfriend, but we were like, like we liked each other or something. I think we were little, young. And even then, I think I said in an episode, the first time I knew I could sing, maybe, it was when I got the Christmas solo, and it was in 5th grade. So I was like, oh, the musician. The kid, I always had a little crush. He was so cute, and I had a little crush on him. And I think we had a crush on each other, But maybe it was just that connection of that soul thing, like music, because all these years later, we did connect a couple years ago when I was back in Scranton, and I was doing the show at Montage, and it was a big deal for me. And I remember thinking, I'm going to call Mark and see if he'll do it. And I hadn't seen him for a long time. And he came over, and of course he agreed to do it. And I said, oh, it'd be so cool to have you on stage with me, because it's an honor to play with him. And this is the kind of person, after I play you the video, it's a beautiful video. And I said, it takes a lot to be vulnerable and to put that out. Like last night, I was not embarrassed, but you put yourself out there and you're crying, and people are mean and they say mean things. And for a long time, and I have another video that I found today that I'll show. I was talking about these things and getting vulnerable, and I hid. I didn't want to say it. I don't know. I was just like, because some stuff happened, and I didn't want to put myself out there for a long time. And that's why all this, even Hollis-tics and doing this is a healing journey, and you're here in real time in case maybe that happened to you, or you kind of hide away. You don't want to show your true self. Again, it's all my album's about. It's about taking the masks off finally and just being able to be yourself. And because you're not going to appeal to everyone, but there are certain people who may watch this and connect and say, yeah, I think I went through that too. So I love this video that he put up, and I'm going to play it if I can get it to work here. And then we will find that damn video or that picture of the hero's journey, because it plays a role in here. And like you said, a lot of you guys probably already know what that is, but we'll look at it, and it's pretty cool. So let me see if I could get this playing here. And I would love to get Mark on as a guest, because he's amazing. And here we are, all about music, and we are all about real people. This is a real person. Like, I love this. So I'm going to play it right now. Let's see. Give me 1 second, because it might start playing, but I want you to hear all of it, because it's worth it here. I'm going to add it to the stage. We have to go to Instagram first, and then I have to make sure it's playing. Okay. And then I got to make sure. Okay, let's see real quick. See, that's the thing. I want to play it, but I want to make sure it plays from the beginning. So I'm going to add it to the stage. Okay, there he is there. Now, when I go back to Instagram, I got to get it from the beginning here. Hold on. I might just close it and click on it again so it plays from the beginning. Okay, let's do this like this. Okay, there we go.
Beautiful to not record.
Music that touches upon heaven and reaches into the depths of your soul.
Come here, buddy. This song is so beautiful. So. This piece is about the great love. That I have.
How amazing is he? So good.
There was always more to the music. Never forget this. Let it move you to tears. When it does, let it bring you to tears. Or you'll never understand the humor of the Pink Panther movies completely. No, I never heard this before that I was aware of. I think I know the last movement. I thought that's where it ended. Thanks for letting me share this with you. This is so special to me. It means the world to me. I can't even tell you.
Oh, good. Pause there.
The Lute Concerto in D major by Antonio Vivaldi, performed by the Great Chamber Orchestra led by Howard Griffiths, with Sharon Isbin on the guitar.
And Mark,
In the early 1730s, Vivaldi was at the height of his career. Alongside work as a music teacher at the Ospedale della Pieta, he had several successful operas under his belt and had been made a knight by Emperor Charles VI. He began to travel a lot. He wanted to oversee the production of his operas, but it was also a good way for him to expand his group of possible patrons. He wrote the Lute Concerto in D major during this period while visiting Bohemia. The piece is for solo lute, but it's now more frequently played on the mandolin, or as we just heard, the guitar. Vivaldi composed 4 works featuring solo lute, violins, and basso continuo. This is by far the most popular. Unfortunately, changing tastes in Venice would eventually drive Vivaldi to leave the city entirely. He sold what he could, including several manuscripts, and moved to Vienna, likely to stage operas. But Charles VI died not long after Vivaldi arrived, meaning life in Vienna would be tougher than he had hoped. Waltzes now by Frédéric Chopin that are amongst the best loved of his compositions. We'll hear performances by the pianist Maria João Pires.
Music that touches upon heaven and reaches into the depths of your soul.
How do I do that? I'm just playing with the radio. I don't even know these songs. How am I doing that? Well, if you want to know, I could try to tell you.
What song you smoke?
Sometimes life.
All right, there we go. Hold on one second. I gotta turn it off here. Okay, so we're back. Let's see. Okay, hold on one second. I want to get at the stage. Hold on. There she is. I'm back. Okay, so there's a reason why I played that. I love that. That is just, thank you, Mark. I'm going to give another applause for that. You know, because I talk about this all the time, and I'm only on episode 10, and you know, it's just, are you like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I talk about AI and real musicians and people who followed it, and when I talked about the other day when to get a normal job, can you imagine telling someone like that, get a normal job? You know, because Mark is someone who should be a millionaire for music, I believe. You know, he doesn't do it for money, you know, but that's the thing. Like, that is soul, that is talent, that is someone who he's done that his whole life, and he never stopped because he wasn't doing it to try to make it or whatever. I mean, it's just something you can't stop. And like I said, there's people who like, whatever, it's the whole thing about money, whatever, but it's like music, money, music industry. It's like, my point is, people like real people like him. I'm not just saying him, like many, like people struggle like for a life of music. It doesn't pay a lot. It's this, and you're always like struggling, you know. We're not millionaires, you know. And someone like Mark, I mean, it's just that it moved me. You know what is said in the beginning, it comes like from he's a vessel, he's a channel, and he's crying. Like I said, when I play music, that's why like when I was watching it, I felt emotional, because I was like, he he feels it. It's from somewhere else and it moves him so much. And he's such a gift to the world. And that's why I do what I do with Voice of Freedom Records and fighting for people. There's, Mark's a rare exception. I'm going to say there's so many people like Mark because there's not. He's a virtuoso. I mean, he's a prodigy ever since he was in 5th grade, probably younger, and I would love to get him on the show and maybe do an interview. And if you want to follow him, go and follow him. His Instagram name, he's amazing, amazing. His name on Instagram is Violin is Extraordinaire. So go follow him, support him. I don't know if he has music you can buy or anything like that. Probably. But, support people like this. See, we're the, I say we, but people like him, people like we're the real ones doing stuff. And, we need support. These are the people who, and again, I'm not just saying Mark, but older people like us who I fight for. That's why I'm saying Voice of Freedom Records. You try to make it in the music industry and all that stuff. And it's hard. It doesn't pay a lot and people give up and people stop. I mean, like he's an example of someone who's never going to, you don't stop. He's walking, living music. I mean, I just love it. I love it. And it's it's just music that moves you to tears. And I love that he was crying. And I said it, not that I don't want to see him. He's not crying. He's crying because he's so close to like heaven, the spiritual side of it. It's like, it's beautiful. Like love is just like that feel, how you get a moment. I don't know if anyone else had this and it doesn't always happen. It's like far and few between where you just feel like peaceful or you listen to something and you're crying, but it's like you're feeling it. And that's something like I always talk about now, AI, you're never going to have that. They can never replace a Mark Whittier. They can never replace a Hollis-tics. They can never replace a lot of people. And those people out there who truly have dedicated their lives to give that gift to others, to give that music to other people. You got to take care of those people and we got to support artists. And that's why I do what I do. And I say support artists. I'm not just saying support me or like, oh my God, I'm the best thing you've never heard. And it's all about me. No. Because I know a lot of people, like I said, not Mark, because Mark is a virtual, like he's just an exception. But I know a lot of people who are my age or a little older, maybe a little younger, who almost have given up on music because they're like, oh, I never work. But they're good. They're great. They're great writers. But they are, or even not musicians. There's other creative people I know, someone making movies, and they're so talented. But it's just so hard to make money with it that you're like, okay, let me go get a real job and I'll do it on the side. And people do just do it on the side. That's fine. But there are people who deserve to be heard, who need to be heard, but they were never given that opportunity. Or they said, I don't want to play that game. I do it for soul. I do it, and they get their gigs and sorry, I'm getting a text message there. I meant to put it on silent. I'm sorry. Here, let me just put real quick because we're going to talk a lot more about this. As you see, I'm passionate. This is Hollis-tics, a mix of everything, but music is my heart. And we're going to play the clip when I come back. We'll play the clip with Mark on stage with me because it was just a wonderful moment. A wonderful moment. It was the best part of the show. And I was so mad when they freaking cut Edenshire because I wish I had that to play. But hopefully we'll be on stage again together someday because I would love that. And that's why, guys, if you're enjoying the podcast, drop a tip in the tip jar because we're going to get Mark Whittier back on stage and with me. And that's what I'm saying. We need some resources to make these things happen. I think he should come to Cleveland because I'm in Cleveland and it's a big music city here. And there's so much cool music here. And I want to get Mark to Cleveland, or maybe when I come back to Scranton, we could actually go and we could record something together. I think that would be awesome. So let's go over here real quick. I'm going to play Voice of Freedom Records. I'm the first and only artist so far. And I'm not even out yet, but it's coming out on my own record label, Voice of Freedom, because we are breaking the shackles of the confinements of the traditional music industry. And we're doing things ourselves because you know what I've heard? Oh, you'll never make it. You're too old now. Ooh, you'll never make it because of this. You don't know anyone. You don't have enough money. Oh, you blew your chance with the, whatever. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all because it doesn't matter how old you are, especially in this day and age, which is a cool thing about the internet. You can find, like I was talking about last night, your niche and your people, and you could make a living from it now more. I don't believe that. when people say you're too old, because older, and we talked about this last night if you want to go watch the episode, but yes, younger musicians are great. And there's always a market for, there's different niches and people who are listening to that kind of music. Like I said, a 15-year-old on TikTok, you know, they have their peers. There are people who are in high school who want that kind of music. But it's like I said, when's the last time I was in high school? It was a long time ago. You know, it's like, so different age and stuff. I don't believe that if you're too old. What does making it mean? I think most people, when they say I'm trying to make it, they're trying to make money from it. And, you know, I'm a living, because I've made money from music, but it wasn't consistent, and it's not like a living. Like I always say, there's those people who really did make it and they're set for life. They have their savings. They made a lot of money from it, you know, and there was chances I probably messed things up or whatever, and could have made it maybe if I played the game a little bit better and did certain things or whatever. But, you know, we're all on our path, and we can live with regrets, or we just keep going. That's why I'll never give up on music. I said in many episodes, I'm not trying to be a music star. You know, I have a lot to say, and I think it's a gift. It's a gift from God, just like Mark's music. It's a gift. And the way that people in the music industry exploit artists for their benefit, you know, it's music is a business. Well, you know what? To most artists, and that's why they always get taken advantage of and screwed over by, you know, you hear the stories of like people in the music industry, like managers, and like I always think of the story of Badfinger. It's a sad story, but because artists don't really care that much about money, they just don't. They like, we really truly don't do it. But then you come to a point where you're like, you realize how important money is in the world, because you can't do anything without it. You got to buy instruments. You got to buy even all this stuff. It's cost a fortune. All this stuff, it adds up. My music studio, you have to pay for this stuff. And it's when you're younger, you're like, oh, you're not thinking about it. Who cares about money? Meanwhile, the people in charge of your career, they're more business, you know, and whatever. I'm not even saying totally anything bad about them, but I'm saying to us, to the art, it's not a business. It's a soul calling. And like someone, like I played that video, obviously for what's the word? A reason to show when someone says a comment like, oh, like they said to me the other night, get a normal job. Should you deny, you know, because musicians have in between gigs, sometimes they don't make money, they're scraping by. So should I just go get a real job and never play? Could you imagine telling that to Mark? You know, maybe he had struggles with money. I don't know. Go get a real job. He shouldn't do that. That's why I say support artists, support musicians if you can. You know, if you find someone you like and you're able to do it, because we don't have the fear. We went through with our calling, what was given to us. You know, because it's not an easy path. It's not an easy path to stay true to yourself and not give up. And you hear the mean people, oh, you're that old already. Why don't you get a real job already? No, I think it's more brave to do your job, your soul's calling, to forego the luxuries of life or the material pursuits. I don't care. I said the other night, I don't even have a couch. You know, I don't care about a couch that much. Sure, whatever. I'm just saying I had a couch. I got rid of it. But what did I buy instead? I made sure I had money to put this stream out. I made sure I have enough money to pay for my music studio, because, yeah, I want to get a nice couch eventually, because they're not that, you know, you can get a cheap couch or whatever. I can get a couch if I want. My point is, it's not, you need them for it. You need the instruments and stuff like that to play and all that. But there's like, we will forego whatever, just so we can have moments like that when you sit and you connect with God and you're playing and it's channeling out of you. And that's why I think that I love that video. And Mark, thank you so much for making that. That made my day. I was crying when I watched it. I was like, oh, you know, because I've been there. It's just like, that's what you can't explain to certain people who don't understand it. And it's okay if you don't understand it, but to say that again, to get a normal job to someone like us, it's just like, that's an insult. And a lot of people won't understand that, and they don't mean it to be an insult. Like, hey, why don't you just go get a job? Because you know what? Or go get a regular job, because you know why? Because music comes, you're writing and you're doing things that are like, even this, I always thought, like, this took me so freaking long to set up, hours and hours and hours. And if I was working 9 to 5 every day, like I said in my one podcast, I had the opportunity. I went and got my certificate to be a tech specialist or whatever. And I was like, it came down to it. And I was like, I don't care. I can't. I have to get this podcast out. I have to get my music out. I came this far. I don't care, you know? So I don't know. What was I going to play? Let's see. Let's go back to media assets here. Oh, Voice of Freedom Records. This is why I'm doing it. And like I said, that's the kind of person I want on stage with me. Someone with freaking soul. You tell me, like I say, Billy Joel's song, it's all about soul. It's all about faith and a deeper devotion. It's like some people will forego the material pursuits of life because they can't deny themselves and they have to get it out. And he's a great example of that. So let's see, let's go to Voice of Freedom Records, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And we have a whole music channel on Voice of the People, USA Radio and Television Network. And I made this commercial. I think it's appropriate to play right now. This is who I'm looking for my record label, Voice of Freedom Records. These are the kind of artists I'm looking for if I could find it. This is where I wish I had a board up. Because I had it in here. Let's see. Voice of Freedom Records. Let me see if I can find it here. This one.
What choice do you have other than to fight and let go of these roots? Now hold yourself tight, you claw your way up, back on solid ground, then the darkness comes to kick you back down.
When you're truly independent, creating music isn't just art. It's devotion. It's late nights, long days, and pouring your own time, energy, and money into something you believe in. Something you feel called to bring into the world. Right now, the world is overflowing with content, music everywhere, so much of it generated in seconds by machines. And somewhere in that noise, real artists are fighting to be heard. The ones who spent years learning their craft, the ones who turned their pain into songs, the ones who kept going when it would have been easier to quit. Most people scroll past without thinking about the soul behind the sound. But if you ever find music that moves you, that heals something in you, that makes you feel less alone, remember, there's a real person behind it. Because good music isn't noise. It's something sacred. If you discover music that speaks to you, support the people who made it, if you can. There we are. That's what I said, if you can. But it is. Music is sacred. And I say that, it's, and I know I say the same thing sometimes, but it's not, I'm not just about my music. It's just, and I always thought that was the saddest thing, when artists get exploited, in Hollywood and all that. And, a lot of people go like, they really, there's a lot that aren't. And the people who are just like, I just want to make it big. And I don't really care. I'll do whatever it takes and all that. And there's a lot of artists who really go like, it's just their soul and their heart. And it's like, so that's why I get mad when I hear stories in Hollywood and this one happened and this thing and people were exploited and they exploited their talent and then they never sang again. There was a girl, I forget her name, but her story, she was on American Idol or something and beautiful voice. I ended up discovering her. I was of some reel or whatever and she was so good. And she sang a song I really liked. It was called Smile. It's like that Charlie Chaplin song. And smile though your heart is breaking, smile even though it's it's another sad song. I have all these sad songs. All my songs are kind of sad, but not really. Shadow Dance isn't sad, but they're beautiful songs. And she was this beautiful little blonde haired, and she's on American Idol. And I saw the reel, and then she was so good. I was like, I wonder, and it was from like 10 years ago, maybe longer. And I just happened to look her up because I was like, I wonder what she's doing today. So I just went in YouTube and put her name in. And she has some horror story about Simon Cowell and how they really treated the people and what they did in her record deal and how she was traumatized and really bad. And I don't think she sings anymore. I mean, maybe she does. I can't speak for her. But I didn't see any music. I know she went on to, I think she wanted to be a lawyer because she was so pissed that she's like, was trying to fight against other injustices and things that happen to other people in the entertainment industry. And all that. And, I think that's the saddest thing in the world, that you would never sing again if something happened to you, and that happens to a lot of people. That's why I said even my my podcast the other day, but like how you talk to people, like when you're giving criticism when you're younger and kids who come out and they want to sing and they want to dance or whatever it is, it's a creative thing. And then the teacher is like, oh, well, don't get a creative job. Or even Dan has a story about that. I think, they never encouraged a lot of creativity. They said, go do this job. That's a safe job. And my point is that you have to be careful because I think, especially for really good people who are like have a lot of talent, and they to think that they'll never sing again because someone who had nothing to do, who didn't even have that much soul, who didn't have any soul, who decided to treat this person really bad or exploit them or use them for their own gain and their own money, and just like it happens to a lot of people in the music industry and everything. It's a big thing. But for people never to sing again because of that, or never giving that gift out to the world because they're scared and they're hiding. And honestly, like part of like coming back after all these years, it was just like there was a lot that I didn't want to talk about until like that's why I said my album, it's all my music. Take the mask off. My EP, it's called Where Did You Go, Girl? It's my favorite song on the album. I love it. I love it. Because honestly, it's just the whole theme of it is, where did you go? Where were you? Like I've been waiting for you all these years to come home. To come home where? To yourself. To your real self. Because you go out and you have to put these masks on. All of a sudden you have to be this and you have to be this to everyone. And, and I could even imagine at a really big level, because I was not at a huge level, just, a little bit of success. But like people like that on American Idol, all of a sudden, you don't know your identity. You're not knowing who you are. Like they want you have to be like this. You hear this, so many people, they shape you into something else. And characters, right? Like Katy Perry. I remember watching her stuff, and she has her image and she has the lollipops and all that. And the candy, the dreams, and all this music. And she's a millionaire. She made a lot of money. But I remember watching an interview and she's like crying and she's like, my name is Catherine. And she had her hair blonde, or it was a different hairstyle. And she's like, you forget who you are because you're becoming an identity for someone else. So my whole thing was like coming back home to me, not back to Scranton, not back to wherever. It was like discovering yourself, and it's just like our whole life we go through, like people like who, especially when people are young, you always hear that, right? It's just like, you got to go find who you are. Like you're looking like, who am I? Where am I? Like, where is it? I mean, I'm looking forever. Who am I? But I think that's the thing. You don't really know yourself until you go through a lot of things, and you really, like I always say, you learn who you are by learning who you're not. You learn what you want by learning what you don't want. You learn, it's like you become that bird, like the butterfly in the cocoon, So, and I was talking to Dan today. It's just like, it's weird. I found a video from 10 years ago. I'm going to play it. And I know I'm all over the place, but I get very excited and passionate. I'm here. And it's just like all these years, I have a lot to talk about because I kept a lot inside. But, you take these masks off finally, and you could be free to be yourself. And that's also on Voice of Freedom Records. Be free to be yourself. Like, no, you don't have to put masks on. You don't have to dress up with, put lollipop, or you're like wear a meat dress like Lady Gaga and all that stuff. Like, fine, I get it. Is it right? You get it. It's entertainment. Sometimes you gotta appeal to the people and dumb it down so people will watch. But okay, let's strip all that away. Because sometimes, and I'm not saying Lady Gaga, I think dudes think she has a good voice, but sometimes there's a lot of people who, you guys will know this. There's a lot of music like the only thing that catches your eye is their image, right? They have really cool hair, or there's so much that goes into it that like also advertising and certain people like just keep pushing the song. And you're like, it's really not that good, but I've heard it about 9 million times that it's in my head. The earbud, right? The earworm. You got to get the earworm. So that's the thing. People, I think if you have they say a good song's a good song, and sometimes, a lot of these people have writers and everything, but I'm just saying it's rare to find someone who could actually write a song from their heart and then get it out there and people find it. It's just, they have to do all this stuff to get you out there, spend millions of dollars. Let me market, let me advertise you and all that stuff. But yeah, my whole album, and I will talk about Shadow Dance soon, and we'll play it. And I want to find that video because this was from 10 years ago and I had it lined up here, producer. Let me see if I could find it. It's on the desktop over here. And I just being totally honest, as I sing now, it was a big step coming back in front of the camera because I'm like doing a show. I'm doing a show every night. It's a different kind of show. I'm not singing. We're talking about music. I'm not on the stage, but I'm being real and I'm talking about things I haven't really ever talked about. And there was something happened where I had fear and I hid. And that's where Did You Go, Girl Thank you, producer. My producer was here to get that video up. We could only see your arm. We could see your arm. Tech board operator. He has tattoos. Oh. But yeah, so while thank you. No, Tom, this would have been a good one for you to be here, but it's not his fault. He's doing something important. He's coaching the baseball and everything. That's it. Be part of the solution. Beeped. That first one, honey. That one. Yeah. There it is. Thank you. We got to get it up here. Thank you. Thank you so much. But it's funny. Today I found this clip and I looked at the date. It was 2016 when I was in Love Zombies. And I would record these videos of really but then I didn't want to show them for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't. I think it was out and then I hit it and I was like, I don't know. Maybe too real talking about. I don't know what it was. It was a blockage. Like you're wearing masks. Oh no, I better be like this. Like you're not just free to be yourself. Can I really tell you how I think? Can I really tell you how you feel? Because life's a game, right? You can't say that, especially to that guy. Your money's gonna be gone or you can't pay. Like, it isn't work, right? You want to tell your boss off sometimes, right? It's just like, can't say that to the boss. You'll get fired. So that's life. We have to constantly wear freaking masks and self-censoring. I better not say that. I better not do this. It's just like, it's exhausting sometimes. It's just, that's why Voice of Freedom, it's great. It's like, be free to be yourself, be free to be real. And that's why I'm the only artist at it right now. I just haven't put anything else out yet. I haven't put anything out yet, but it's all to come. And I fought a really long time. And I said, I've said it many times. I'm not trying to be a music star. I don't it's just, you think that it's out there. I want to be a celebrity. I'm like, no, it's okay. I want to connect with certain people. I mean, a lot of people, sure, but I want my music to connect with people who might appreciate it, enjoy it, and like it. Like, where did you go, girl? I really see Voice of Freedom Records. My dream, I don't want to say dream, but why I made it. I would love to be able to have other people who had similar experience come together and we could, work together. I was on the other side of the music industry. I was an artist, something for artists. By artists. It's not run by some rich billionaire record producer who has no idea what the struggles are of an artist, of a real artist. They don't nurture your heart. Or they would do things that that an artist would never do to each other. It's for artists by artists. It's if you don't and that was the thing, if you don't like what it is, yeah, can you change the world? Can you you need money and all that stuff, of course. Everything is money. But if you don't like it, create something out of it. You keep running back to the same thing. That's why I have great music. Should I call all my Hollywood contacts and hope I could move back and maybe I'll make it? No, that's not why I'm doing it. I don't care. It's just kind of, yeah, it'd be great. I wanted to get out there because I think it's good music and it'd be great if it could land in a movie and give me some money or something. But it's different now. And that's why I say if you don't like how something's done, then create it yourself. And that's why I said, I didn't really love the industry part of it. And there were some good people, everything. You can't lump everyone in. You had a good experience. It wasn't all bad or anything, but you live and learn. And I was younger then. But my point bringing me back to this video I'm going to play was from 10 years ago. I found it today on YouTube and it was private from 2016. And if you guys been watching, I'm sorry I didn't get to the chat room, but we'll get over to it because I could talk a heck of a lot. I started at 7. It's already 8:24. You see, and you get me on the rant about music. This is what happens. But, it's just, I don't know why I didn't put this video out. I think it was out for a little while. But my point is saying, if you don't like something, and it's you don't like the world, can you change the world? We'll talk about that in the video. Create something out of it. Create something else. And that's why I said, even with our TV platform and everything, I was like, gosh, it's so hard to break through on freaking YouTube and TikTok and it's oversaturated and everyone's a freaking star and there's more entertainers than people to be entertained these days because everybody's a star, everyone's an entertainer. I saw it coming. I was like, well, maybe I could build something unique, like a place for real people, for other people who are having the same problems, for people my age, like the Marks of the world and me and people who are they know they can't stop. It's in their heart, but how they're ever going to break through, or maybe, for people who are finding another way. I thought a true alternative for real people, for, like I said, for people who don't want to just give into AI and not have to think about, and just like I said, it makes me sick on going to Instagram. Oh, like how do I hook people in the first minute? How do I promote every single post so maybe someone will look at it? It's just we're all dealing with it. So I said, you know what? I'll create my own place and at least tell people. And maybe, like I said, I'd rather 100 people than 20,000 people who don't even care, don't look. You just quality over quantity. I always say it. It's true. But when I'm playing this, I'm going to try to get my other Voice of Freedom commercial up here. But here we go. So for the people, before I go into, I'll go to the chat room real quick, see if we got any comments there. We have, okay, good. Aw, he plays so beautifully. He was moved to tears by the music. Yeah. Aaron, that's what I'm saying. I love you guys. So I say, I want people like you in my band, like people with soul and heart. Really. Like music, I don't care. Oh, there's so much of it these days. Everyone consumes music. It's like, oh, there's just so much. Yeah, but there's a lot of crap out there. And to find really good music, there is. You have to dig for it, I think. There's a lot. And there are a lot of talented people. And unfortunately, the AI thing it's a big thing. It's like, it's making it very difficult for the real people to get, any support at all. So he plays so beautifully. And he's played that way since 5th grade. I mean, he's, like I said, he's a tender-hearted. Aw. You're welcome, Jim. Thank you for everything. Thank you always for your support and coming in. He reminds me of Mr. Holland's Opus. Remember that movie? Yeah, so go and follow him. Violin, I'll get him, and I want to see, maybe he'll come on and do an interview. He's a very interesting person. We get into a lot of deep conversation. He's awesome. He's very awakened. He belongs here on Hollis-tics. Okay, so I'll give it, yes, Elliot. Let's see what else I did. I hate missing people. People pistols. Sorry, got tongue twisted. The cat got my tongue. I don't like missing people's comments. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you, but we go back and we'll look at the comments. That's what Dan does. He taught me some tricks. And that feeling always starts with a shiver for me when I hear touching music. Yeah. Yeah. Or a music like we were talking about last night. It just brings you back. It brings you back somewhere. It's so important. You too, Jim. Thanks for sharing this. I wish I could meet him. You know what, Aaron? You might be able to meet him. He's one of my friends from elementary school. And maybe we will get him on the show. I would love to have him as a guest. So let's see. And Maga Institute says, here's a Cleveland's rock item for you. Chip Taylor died today at 86. Wrote Wild Thing. Aw, remember that song? Yeah, of course. Wild Thing. I was like, no, it was Louie Louie. I said I remember there was a radio station for some day. It just kept playing the same song all over. And I thought it was Wild Thing. It was Louie. My sister remembers that. I'm like, is it stuck? It was 24 hours. It was the same song. Louie. All day. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I will check back in the comments in a minute. Let's go back to our media assets. But yeah, about wearing the mask and all that. So here we are 10 years ago. This is me 10 years ago. And for Smurgsleos out there, Smurgs, I beeped out the curses because I was cursing in this video. I've been very good, even though today I said the S word. But I didn't know what to say instead of when it just rhymes when it hits the fan, when that hits the fan. What else is it? So, but I've been very good no to cursing. So I actually beeped out the cursing here because I don't know. I just did. So I'm going to play this video from 10 years ago and let me know because there's some reoccurring people in here. Love you guys. The reoccurring people. You know what I'm saying? You've been listening. And now I'm talking about the themes. Here's a decade later. Here we go.
Hey everybody, it's Hollis here from Love Zombies. I'm making this video because when I never really come out and talk about religion or politics or, a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, but like everyone else, I'm very affected by it, there's a lot that's going on, we don't come out and talk about it. And I rack my brain, especially as, an artist, a musician, someone who might have a little bit of a platform, a small platform of fans that I adore and love and, might be listening or spread the message. I do, like I said, I rack my brain trying to think of ways that I can change the world. Can I really change the world? There's so much horrible shit that's going on. We feel helpless. We feel really like nobody wants this. But we feel like, what the fuck, what can we do? You know what I mean? And what do I have come to the conclusion? The only conclusion that makes sense to me is that we can make a difference and we can change, and it all begins on a very, very small, basic human level of how we conduct ourselves and act in our daily life. There's so much hate in the world, there's so much negativity, and we see it when we turn on the news, in the newspapers. On a daily level, the only thing we can do is try to live a good life, be nice to people. Be nice to people. I think that's the main thing. We need love in the world. There's a lack of it, and we're all really sad and upset about what's happening. And people need love, and just to be nice. Don't go out of your way to upset someone or to not be supportive or just be an stop, because it's spiraling and it really does get to the top, and then really bad things happen. It starts on a very small level, which is us. And I really feel if in our own little world, as small as we can, if it means smiling at someone, if it means paying a nice compliment to someone to brighten up their day, and then they pass it on to the next person, now they're happy, and it's a domino effect. It does make a difference. Just the same as if it's negative, you say something nasty to someone, they feel bad, and they're angry at their partner, and they snap at them, and then their partner's pissed off, then their partner says something to the crazy man who goes and hurts people physically. It's domino. So it's good news. We do have the power to change what's happening. We can't be responsible for people who do horrible things. We are in a world that we are living in fear, and it's horrible, and it sucks, and that we have to watch our back, and it's gotten to this point. Like I said, I don't have the answers. I'm not trying to act like I do. I just do know that on my own daily basis and in my own life, the one thing I learned is that going through my own demons and having my own situations and lessons I've had to learn is that getting back into it and hate and fight with negative, it doesn't help. It's like we live in the ego as a very small self, and it's like the me monster, like me, you're affecting me, and I don't like what you do, why'd you do that? Ego, it's our lower selves, and we're conditioned, and society supports this lower living of always just trying to survive. It's a horrible place to live from, and that's where the ego, which lives in our mind and is our mind, is the very dangerous thing, because it gives us this illusion that we're separate from each other, that it's just me, and I'm this, and I may be better than you, and my religion's better, and this, and I'm above you, and I make more money than you, and you're just down here, and it's just like this constant division, which makes us feel like we're not equal. But the thing is, we are all equal. It's like it does not matter what industry you're in, or what job you have, or what color you are, or where you were born, or who you are, or what you've done, or if you're famous, or whatever. It doesn't matter. We're all equal, and that's the danger of the ego. It says that no, we're better than each other, and that causes division, and it's losing the fact that we are actually all one. We are really all actually humans. We're being tricked, and our revolution and the war is really with our minds, and because our thoughts create reality. So you can literally create heaven or create hell. I think we do have the power to change it, and it really, I keep repeating over and over to drill it into my own head as well. It comes on a really small basis. It's little changes. Don't judge people so quick, or don't gossip. It's just not nice. It's just not nice. And you support people. Be competition and this not enough to go around mentality. It's again, we're disconnected. Why is it not that when you do good, I'm happy for you? Because when you do good, I do good. If we lived in a more, we're all in this together. When you do good, I'm happy for you. Not when you do good, you're going down because you're trying to do good things for the world. Come on, grow up. We're all in this together. We're all human. Stop it with the jealousy. Stop it with the anger. Stop it with the bad vibes. Stop with the hating. Please help each other. It's not brain surgery. I am angry. I'm tired. I will fight against hate, and I will fight against mean people. And wake up. Stop. All I can say is really try to practice love and compassion, empathy, understanding, and realize that people act out when they're hurt and they need love. So the more the person pisses you off, the more they need love. So that's your test, and our test is to try to overcome all the hate with love. And all we can really do is live each day with gratitude for still being here, and respect human life and respect each other as people.
There you go. Let's see if I could get back here. Remove it. Remove. There we go. So yeah, that was the younger version of myself. But those things now, these themes that I am finally talking about, and even being kind, a comment of the day, it's like, and that was me, the hippy dippy. What's so funny about peace, right? What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding, that, like I said, it was totally like, yeah, I could even hurt myself. The good vibes, man. It's just in California, it was, there was a lot of peace, love, and hippies and all that kind of stuff, and Laurel Canyon. That was really cool. That was fun. But, it's just, it's weird because I hear myself over there and on the show. Dan's listening to it. I hear myself. But yeah, I just always kind of been about that. Is that fairy tale? You grow out of it and you're like, oh, really? Love zombies I talk about. I was like, oh, I was always saying, can we just fight each other with love, ready to hug you, ready to love you? Why does it have to be so mean? Like, why is this world so mean? And not everybody. Because when you meet a person like an Aaron or a Joe or Jess or Timothy or Maga Dirtbike, like Maga Diaper. Sorry, Joe. Is Joe. When you meet, or Travis and Charlene, you meet that you guys are here. We do exist. And that's why I say I love bringing people together again. And I mentioned that was shortly, I think, during when I wrote the Reconnection Movement. I think it was after that. But I was like, always like, can't we just connect? Can't we be nice to each other? Does it really matter what your religion, your politics? I don't talk about politics. I won't talk about politics on this show because you could argue about that and divides. And yes, there's a place for it, of course. And there's shows on our network that are political, of course. But this is Hollis-tics. It's just about rising above that and saying, okay, with all that, with all the difference, we're all mad at each other. We're all fighting. We're all hating each other. Let's look above. Like soul. It's all about soul. And then you look at like play something like Mark played, and it's just like beautiful. And it's like, can't we all just get along? But that's not life, unfortunately. And I say that's life. Life it's a game we play. That's comedy of errors. It's comedy of errors. So I'll go over here and play that real quick. Here, comedy of errors.
Life is a game, the game we play.
The stage. There I am. There we are. I would say we're at the top of the hour. That's almost at the top of the second hour. Man, I could really talk. But yeah, so Covers this is the first single that's going to be released, and we are taking off the covers and we're being real here. As I say, real podcast. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Real. Hold on. Gotta get rid of Tim's comment, even though I loved it. Real humans only. When I say real humans only, what do we mean, guys? You know what I'm saying. We need to keep our humanity when we're up with the AI and everything, and the robots here. This is for real people. Let's see. Oh, wooden ships. Yep, I listened to it, Joe, last night. I did because I've heard it before, but it wasn't like, I don't think it was it one of their more popular ones. It was one more of an album one. Was there songs like that? See, Crosby, Stills, Nash, Wooden Ships is probably the most soothing song I have ever known. There's so many reasons it became my number one favorite for 52 years. Aw. Yeah. And just that song that you go back to that always, like, just makes you feel good. It's like, it's been there for you. So I say someone made that song, and it, like, oh, here we go. Deeper Shade of Soul. That's one of Timothy's favorites. That's one of my favorites too, Joe. Great tune. How about, it made me think of one, Jackson Brown. There was a song, it's a good song, and my sister was the one who told me about it, and I remember listening to it. It was called Fountains of Sorrow. It's just sad. All these like songs that I'm like, oh, they're sad, but It's not really sad, more like nostalgia. It's deep. Like I say Cats in the Cradle and stuff like that, but like these songs are songs that just they're deep. They're deep. And like I always say, they can't be replicated like by AI and all that. So back to here. So should I play Shadow Dance? Here we are. Add to the stage. Okay, so like I said, I thought this was lost in the ether. I made this video over a year ago, and it's just a lyric video. That's why I say it's the world premiere of Shadow Dance. It's not really. It's just on this show and on the replay. But this is a song that I will be releasing. Like I said, it's probably going to be the last one on the album because it's all the I'm doing my albums in pieces, so the first, and that's why I wore my dark today, the shadow. We're talking about the darkness and the light. This light's very important. We're trying to get to the light. And so when I started in the beginning of this podcast, right? You have to like look at yourself because we could blame everybody. And I've done it. I mean, who does it? In your bad relationships, I always talk about, oh my God, they're the devil. They're the worst. They're narcissistic. They're toxic. But then I'm like, well, I chose them. Was there part of me that was toxic? Yeah, probably. Yes. Was there part of me that was like, whatever? They're mirroring too. I use mirrors a lot in my symbolism and for my album. I use these a lot. This is the time. I have like a bunch of these. These are you'll see them in my pictures and stuff. This is the hourglass, obviously. Like we talk about this too when I disappear now. Time is time an illusion? The clock is ticking. Like, what are you doing with your life? Where is time not really real? Parallel universes, all those things. Time. Go back to the garden when the time is up, or when you learn the shadow dance, the dance of life. But into the dark. That's releasing my album in chapters. So it's like you're going into the dark to get to the light eventually. And the last closing song of the album, I'm thinking it's going to be Shadow Dance, because that's when you integrate the shadow and you learn to not run from those dark parts of yourself, because going through the dark and maybe coming out the other side is the transformation. That's when the transformation occurs, when you have to, even in the winter, it's dark, and then you emerge in spring. It's like life again. It's like can you run from it? I hated winter. I was like, I want to live in California forever. I don't want to deal with winter. I still feel like that sometimes, but like you run from it, you hide from it. You don't want to deal with it. It's easier to just stay where it's warm, but I think that's when the most growth comes. And if you were still alive at the end of it, and you're like, and you could take wisdom from it, and you could maybe write an album about it, or if you're not a musician, you do something out, like whatever it is, paint or figure, make that move to that 3-acre house, or that land, like, okay, now I know this is where I need to go. But maybe you never would have gotten there if you didn't figure things out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's the dark before the dawn, they say, right? It's always the darkest before the dawn, because the dawn is, we want to go to those good places. I mean, I always say I like to be in the light, and some people don't. Like, they're like, all those goth people. I probably look a little gothic tonight, but they like to be in the dark, like the devil, like all that. I don't, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful of the journey. I'm grateful to be here today. I'm grateful to be here at Hollis-tics. I'm grateful you're all in the chat room. It's been a long journey, and some people who don't take these journeys, maybe they don't never know themselves enough, because we're constantly distracted. And I said, it's a blessing and a curse. It's like, who would choose this? I'm like, oh, why didn't I choose like the easy, like, meet your person when you're younger, get the job, and and that there's nothing wrong with that, but some people think like, oh, like we chose this path, like path. I don't know. I think it's your destiny, your soul's, there's the evolution of the soul and all that stuff. And certain people are here for different paths, to learn different lessons for different reasons. I don't have kids myself, and most people I know have kids. So that's a whole other discussion, but it's just, I don't know. Am I weird, or is this all part of the story, part of the art, part of like I said, it's not because I choose, I want to be a rock star. Please, if I could let go of this, I would have a long time ago. Trust me. There's many times I wish I could do something else. Oh God, what is it? It won't let go. I'm like, no, I have to get it out. I can't. I want to connect. I need to be talking to people, connecting, and saying the stuff that I'm saying. If anyone's watching or listening, I know you guys are. I'm just saying. The algorithm. Ah, the robots. The robots are going to tell me what I can and can't do. I know. I'm sorry. Like I keep because I'm saying dirt biker, and when I say it fast, it says diaper. Mugga dirt biker. You know what I mean? But we'll work on that. We'll just call you Joe. Joe. Everyone, if you don't know, MAGA dirt biker is Joe. It's too long, but Joe is shorter and way easier. So we'll say Joe. But okay, so let's play the shadow dance, and then I'll play the lyric video, the world premiere. And then I'll play the part where the incredibly talented Mark Whitty had joined me on stage. I just have a little clip of that. But I'll play that. And before I play that, real quickly, if you are enjoying the show, if you're just scrolling by and you stop the scroll possibly, if you're new to the show, my name is Hollis Mahady. You're watching Hollis-tics. I'm here every night, weeknights, not every night, not Saturday and Sunday, but I'm here weeknights, Monday through Friday. This is a new thing for me. I'm on episode 10. That's why sometimes we still have technical difficulties. And maybe by episode 20, I'll have a board operator and he will be able to do all the extra things that I'm like, still trying to figure out and talk to everyone, do everything at the same time. But we're getting there. So I am Hollis Mahady. If you are interested in any of my music, you go to hollismahady.com. There's a shop there. I have all my music on sale right now. It's only $20, 30 plus songs, all from the band I was talking about previously, the Love Zombies. That was my past band. And some Christmas songs and some originals and some cover songs. It's all on that album right now for just $20. And any purchase made, that $20 goes into my pocket to help me get this new music out there and this new music that you're about to hear. The lyric sheets as well. We're going to do that tonight. Before at the very end of the show, we're going to pull out our winner who won the lyric sheet. We'll see who that is. And you might just win the lyric sheet for Shadow Dance. So we're going to play that song. But again, if you're here, drop a tip. If you were enjoying the show, because I have to do it. I have to remind you as a bartender, I always got $1 every time I poured a drink. And here we're pouring the soul out. We're pouring the music out. And if you feel like buying me a coffee, I like the mocha choca latte with skim milk. It's not as many calories. Here we go.
Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady or scan the code you see on the screen.
I love that song. It's called In Pursuit. And that is from Epidemic Sound that I get all my licensed music from and that I could play during these podcasts and not have to be worried about getting striked off of YouTube because I play all my music from Epidemic Sound. If you want to check it out, go for it. It's on my website and here's the commercial for it that I made.
Are you liking the music in the show? The music you hear in my videos and during the show is licensed through Epidemic Sound, an amazing platform for creators. If you make videos, podcasts, or content of your own, head over to hollismahady.com, go to the podcast page, and sign up for a free trial using my link. And if you're just a listener looking for new music, you'll also find my playlist of favorite songs I use in this show. Signing up through my link supports the show and the musicians too.
And if you missed episode 1, I strongly suggest you go back and watch it. It was my very first podcast of Hollis-tics here. And that's when I talked a lot about the reconnection movement. There's also a video on my YouTube that's just that little portion of the reconnection movement. It's about 50 minutes. This is a manifesto, I guess you could call it. I think I was calling it back then, that I wrote 10 years ago, not with ChatGPT. And I was worried about AI back then. And I was worried about what we are facing today more than ever.
Download your free copy of the Reconnection Movement today. Just head over to my website, www.hollismahady.com. Go to the podcast sections, scroll to the bottom of the page, and enter your email to get your free copy instantly. Now more than ever, it's important that we reconnect and support real human creators and real people.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. With all that housekeeping said, again, you drop a tip there, you will be entered to win one of those lyric sheets once we hit $100. And we hit $100 before. So we're going to call out the winner tonight at the very end of the show. So make sure you watch to the end, guys. But Shadow Dance, the world premiere. I wish I had a drum roll here. And it's a world premiere. It's like I said, it's not officially out, but I want to share some music with you because like, I've been talking about it all night. And this is the lyric video. And this is what I wrote when I went back to Scranton. And I know my dad was with me when I wrote this. I know he was. He was watching over me. But this is when I said, you'll hear some of the lyrics and everything. And you'll see the lyrics. They're on the screen. So I'll just shut up and play the song. I'm very excited about it. So here we go. This was almost lost in the ether. And then I found it on a hard drive. I was like, Dad, I found it. This took me a while to make. And it was back in Maine when I made this. So here we go. This is Shadow Dance. And I'll do a little. Nope, that's not right. A drum roll. I don't have a drum roll. Drum roll. There's a drum roll. Okay, here we go. This is Shadow Dance. Enjoy, guys. The cover there is my new album.
My muse went away, left me in the rain. It's been pouring ever since that day. I was crying on the ground when I felt the angels come around, and they whispered in my ear, and they said, laugh instead of cry, and live while you're alive. 'Cause we're just on borrowed time. We'll go back to the garden and we'll dance the shadow dance. We got the hang of it at last. The shadow dance.
Oh, and there you have it. There we are. I'm here. And that is the shadow dance. That's the dance of life. And I say, it's funny because I'm going to play the clip now of Mark and I on stage. It was the only time that I ever played this song live, and I can't wait to play it again. And I can't wait to shoot a real video for it. So that's just a lyric video, and I kind of put some stuff together just to show it with the dancers and everything. But I have a vision of doing a real video with the real dancers and me in it. Of course, I'll be singing the song, and yeah, I'm glad I finally played it. I've never played it, but so yeah, there was the one part at the end. The lyric came to me in the shadows, in the darkness, where the answers lie, all the pieces in between the light. That's the dance of life. Like where do the answers lie? Sometimes in the dark. It's like, where do you find the biggest growth and transformation about yourself? I think it's going through dark times, and like you said, if you could look at that and you could look and you do the shadow work, and it's not easy, but if you do the shadow work, you find that. And it's funny, when I played the clip I'm going to play with Mark, I didn't even have that part written yet because it was a long process recording this album, and I had to go back and forth and I recorded it in pieces. First I was in there for a while just doing the backing tracks to get ready for the show. And then I was like, well, he did a really great job. I was like, why don't I just go to him and get my album done? Why don't I just go add vocals to these? So it was like a year and a half process, because in the time I was recording it, I ended up moving to Maine and stuff. So then when I would go back to Pennsylvania, I would have to go. I went up to the studio for like a week here and there, and that's why it took so long. It's not like, some people are like, I was writing this album for 10 years. No, I say that like it took a lifetime to write, but it was just, I wasn't ready to write it until now, I guess, or until then. It was just like it's a lifetime of experiences, and I was always honest. I was always like, I don't think I could write songs and all that, but so that one little part, and actually, it's online somewhere where I put it out not long ago about that little part, like in the darkness, in the shadows, that little end part, in the darkness. It's one of my favorite parts of the song, but I have that captured on video when I came up with that, and I put it, because a lot of times people say like, what's your songwriting process like? How do you come up with the songs? And that was just a little melody on the piano, and then I wrote the words to it, and then I added it into the song you just heard, but that wasn't in the original one here. So I will play this, and this was the one time, like I said, that Mark joined me on stage, and that was the story I told earlier about Mark the virtuoso, and here he is. This is him live in action with me, and this was my favorite part of the song. It's just a little clip. It's not even the full song, but this is it. So I'm going to play this now. Wait, hold on. It's very loud, but the audio isn't maybe the best because it's live. So hopefully it's not going to blow your eardrums out. No one wants that, but here, let's see. Here, we'll just play it. If it's too loud, just turn it down. Here we go. I'll add me back to the stage. There we go. Yeah, and like I said, remember I was saying like that's the moment you live for. That was my favorite part of the show when Mark came on. I wish he could have done my other song Edenshire, but yeah, like that's all the work you go through. Like I said, I was so sad at that show, to be honest, because I was heartbroken about Tinklepaw at the time. But the show must go on, and I managed to do it. And yeah, it was like that. Those are the moments you do it all for, to be on stage like that, especially to share the stage with like someone like Mark. I mean, as I said earlier, those are the kind of people I want to play music with. I would love to have. I want in my band, or to share a stage with people with soul. Like he said in his video, to be moved to tears by music, to be moved. I mean, maybe not just about my music, but to be moved. Like it's real soul, it's heart. And it was just a great moment. Now, hopefully we'll have it again maybe someday. But you see why I would oh, Aaron says I would like to watch the whole concert. If you can please send me the link. I will. I don't have it out anywhere, but I will. I could find it for you and send it to you. I do have a longer clip, and most of it was just me, but I had the backing tracks and stuff. But I'll find it and I'll send it to you. That's the one show when I had the bongos. I don't know if you remember. Remember, I had those green bongos. I still have them, but I got them for that show because I got the grant. So then I had some money at that point, and I was like, "Ooh, I could go get stuff I needed." I got a new laptop. I got the keyboard, my white keyboard that I still have. I love that keyboard. That's in the photo shoot. The photo shoot I had, and I brought that keyboard. I think it's actually still in the car, but yeah, it was such a good it was a good show. It was good. I had prepared for a long time. As I said, it was just because I was preparing for going out solo on my own, really, and having the backing tracks and all that stuff. But of course, I would rather play with you see why I do miss being in a band. I miss having a band. I miss some of the drama that comes with it. But I'm at a point in my life where I could hire musicians because there is a thing. You hire people to play with you, and people that they need to get paid. So, but you see, that's why smash that like button. If you're supporting artists, drop a tip in the tip cup. We could get, I could do more shows, live bands and stuff like that. Cause I will get back out there. I'm planning on it. It's coming soon. And Cleveland is a great place to be because they have a great music scene here. So I'm not sure when the first live show will be, but I'm working up towards it again. I'm here. I'm back. I'm here to stay as long as I'm breathing and alive. So again, I always say this. Thank you, God. Thank you for everything. Thank you for all the lessons you taught me. As MAGA dirt biker, Joe, he says, you're correct. I had to go through the traumas and tribulations of 5 years of a credit counseling program to get where I am today. That was 20 years ago. Yeah. I mean, it's just, yeah, financing is a big gosh. They really should teach more financing classes in school and how important it is, like they don't teach you. I mean, if you without credit and bad credit and stuff, you need yeah, you make financial mistakes and it really screws you up for a long time. And you're young and you don't care about money, and it's just then you can't get a loan and you can't get a new car you need to help you with your business. I mean, it could really screw you up with your finances and stuff. And somebody you have to learn that the hard way. Buying a house, it didn't work out. It really, it set us back. But you learn, and hopefully you get the wisdom and you grow and you don't repeat the mistakes again, and you bounce back eventually. But some mistakes, they cost you a lot of time. And then what is it called? What is my album called? If anyone could write it in the chat room, you'll win a prize. I've said it enough times. Buddy? Anybody out there? Do you remember what it's called? I'll tell you. A comedy of errors. I always talk about it. Errors, mistakes. What are the mistakes in life? Are they mistakes? Or is that just life? Is it a mistake if we say it's bad? But what if you learn from it? If you grew? If it turned into a song or an album, or it turned into like learning and repairing your credit, is something like that, and now you have you learn from it. Comedy of errors, because mistakes. Life is mistakes. That's all it is. It's a lot of mistakes, and we don't know at the time that they're mistakes. We don't know that you set off on the hero's journey. What do we talk about? You go out and go out into the world and you live and you take chances and you get life experience, and it's you look back. I say that too a lot of times. It's like, oh man, that was such a mistake. And then Dan will say, well, don't beat yourself up over it, because you can't. There's no use crying over spilt milk. I mean, can you You can't take it back. I mean, some mistakes are really bad. They really mess up your life. But certain ones, like, look, hopefully you're given another chance. And what can you do? You could make up for your mistakes. You know, people think mistakes, you treated someone bad. You could apologize and things like that. But yeah, but a comedy of errors, it's like, that's why I do like have some of the dark music and deeper, but you have to laugh at it. Then we get to the light part. The light part is fun. I have a song called Heyoka, and it's like the sacred clown and like the backwards and laughing and bringing the light and bringers of the dawn. That's a song on my album. That's about bringing the light to the world and all the stuff we're talking about, but enlightenment and all that stuff. So let's see what Joe says. Joe says, when I set a goal, I'm an absolute bulldog. I've achieved every goal I've ever set in my life. That's why I'm happy and content today. Well, good for you, Joe. It's true. And like I say too, a lot of times I set a goal and it takes a lot longer than you think. It's not on your timetable. Like something like 5 years to rebuild your credit and stuff like that. Like it takes time, and sometimes, like I said, even my album, like I was embarrassed last year because I'm like, oh, it's coming. And then it did not come. And I put all this whole Patreon thing out and everything. I've talked about this before, but it wasn't the right time. But I'm true to my word. It's coming. Even now, I'm like, that's why I didn't put an exact date on it, because my first song Covers is coming out hopefully very soon. I got the photo shoot done. I want to shoot a little video for it, but you have to put it up on Spotify, and then you don't have to. You have to do like playlists, and it's just a whole other beast. That's what brings you back to being an independent artist. It's not easy, and it's not it's not fun. It's not like the most desirable thing to have like nobody help you, but at the same time, I don't know, you got to find balance, and you want people around you who, like I said, I go back to, oh, I'll share your post if you pay me like $100. I'll put it in front of my followers. Like the ideal situation would be like someone to say, I like your music, I'll share your post. It's good. That doesn't happen because everybody's a musician these days. So now it's like, okay, I got that so many times. I just put a couple posts out and so many people, oh, I love your music. And then followed by, I'll put it up. Oh, great. And then followed by, here's my price list. And I'm just like, okay, I talk about this a lot, but it's just, yeah, you got to advertise and promote, and you got to pay for certain things like advertising. You have to pay for it. But it's just like, is that gone, are those days of like, hey, I really like you. I like your music. I like what you're doing. Let me share it out. Let me share it. It's like, no, thank you. It helps, because when you're independent, you can't pay everyone right away. You can't do everything yourself. So you rely on those people, like the street teams and fans, to like, spread the word. Wear the t-shirt, tell people where you got it. Hey, I got it. That girl goes, I like her song, or whatever. Not just me, for other people too. So bravo. Thank you. I would like to watch the whole concert. Yes, I will send you that. But let's see. So, reminder, with all that said, and I know you guys in the chat room understand why I have to push buy me a coffee if you are enjoying the show and feeling supportive, with the exception of the people in the room who are always have donated. I'm not talking to you guys. Thank you so much for everything. But any new listeners are out there feeling a little bit generous, maybe we're inspired by the stories I've been telling and the musicians, and someone like Mark out there. It's like, like I said, I want to play with Mark again. I want to get him to Cleveland. Maybe we could record something together.
Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis-Mahady or scan the code you see on the screen.
And smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Wait, I think I have it here. Wait. Oh, wait. No, this one says thank you. Oh, thank you. But that's not it. Be right back. No. But like and subscribe if you can. If you're watching this, again, I know people, hey, money's tight for everybody. If you can't donate, that's not a problem. I'm not just here saying, give me pay. I won't come back if you don't pay me, but it helps. But if you can't, another way to help that's free of no charge, it only takes a moment of effort, is to like the video. If you're one of those 19 eyeballs I see there and you've been here and maybe you didn't leave, or you're the same person, been watching this the whole time, you're not going to donate, but hey, that's okay. Can you like it? Do it right now if you don't mind. Like it, subscribe. It helps. It helps. It helps keep the show going. It helps being seen by the algorithm and all that BS that I hate, but that you have to do. Like it, subscribe it, share it, and give me a follow. I have like some subscribers on YouTube. Again, it's like I always talk. It's just like, should I pay money to try to boost it there? Should I pay for this, for this? It's like, I don't know. So I'm just figuring all that stuff out. But the best way to do it is if you like it, just share it. It just takes a second. Retweet it. If there's, tag me in it or something. If someone needs to see it, or someone you might know is an artist and maybe they want to be on Voice of Freedom Records. Maybe they like what I'm doing. We could work together. I'm not one of those girls who are like, all that stuff, competition. It's like, let's help each other. We're all trying to do the same thing. People are trying to figure it all out. Why not support each other? Figure it out together. Help each other. I'm only one person. Yes, I would want to start a record label and all that, but I don't have time to do all of it myself. It would be great if someone was like, you know what? Why don't I come on that record label with you? Why don't we blow this thing up, blow it up together? Or just, I like what you're doing. Let's work together. I'll help you put out an email once a week or whatever. Let me run the email list. You keep doing this or you do that. And God, if we just had some people doing stuff like that, it's about doing community. But that's the problem. Everybody wants to do their own thing. And I get it. I'm doing my own thing, right? But it brings me to Voice of the People USA Radio. Voice of the People USA. I didn't call it the Voice of Hollis Mahady. I called it the Voice of the People. I talk about this, maybe not enough, but we have a TV network. I could put hundreds of people on this network. It's on Roku TV. It's on Fire TV. You know why it's there? Because we spend a lot of money making this happen. I did this in the hopes of it's not just going to be me, but it has to start somewhere. So yeah, it's all about me right now. But the whole point is to discover other people who are like us, who are similar, who have similar struggles, and say, you know what? Let's work together. It doesn't need to be so hard to get the marks of the world and all these other people who are like, don't know what to do or are sick of it, who are like, let's build quality over quantity. Yeah, we can't compete with who wants to anymore, but the music industry and all that, and the way it's done, and the billions on Spotify, and the 8 million robot AI tracks. Who wants to compete with that? Wouldn't it be better if we just came together, a bunch of, like I always say, leaders, most people who are entrepreneurs, or they're doing a business, or they're a musician, or they're not, or they have their brand or whatever. I say that with love, but it's like, oh, it's all about my brand. It's just about, well, what am I doing? Like, this reminds me of the influencer video I should crack out, Joe, right? But it's like, oh, will this benefit me? Well, what about benefiting each other? What about if we actually really looked and said, okay, I'm doing my music channel. She has a music channel, and and we're all competing. Like I say, we're scattering. We're like, I want your attention. No, I want your $10 a month. No, I want. And what if we actually all came together in one place, AKA, which I have actually, because I built it. Literally, when I say I built it, I put the apps together. Like, I did so much. It took me forever, and it cost a lot of money. It's all there, and it's for real people. It's for people like me. I know I'm a weird one, but I know there's other people like me out there who are sick of it and struggling, and who are real, and who are like, oh, can we just let's congregate some cool people together, because you want to make a change, right? You want your music out there, but it's more impactful when people work together. People don't want to work together. It's all, like I say, it's ego, self. Me. Okay, I get it. I'm about myself too. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, wouldn't it just be easier if not everybody had, what if 10 people came together and said, okay, this social media BS, you just do Instagram, okay? You do TikTok, you do YouTube, but we're going to say, check out this place. It has all these great artists. And now instead of all of us breaking our backs trying to figure out and getting nowhere, sometimes it feels, what if we actually helped each other? Is that too much is that a dream? I know sometimes I feel like it's a dream. It's like, especially in the Voice of the People and the other stuff, the political world and stuff. It's like, people are so self-absorbed. I mean, I get it. I do and I don't. It's just like, why can't we work together? Is it too much to ask? Too much of a dream? Voice of the people. Not just the voice of Hollis, it's the voice of all of us, the real people. So I'll get off my soapbox. Speaking of that, I'm thinking of the comment of the day. I saw it sitting in there and realized we didn't get to it yet. So before I do that, quickly, I've realized I'm parched. I've been talking nonstop for a long time. So Tonight I have another one of these. I don't want to waste it. I have my organic coconut smoothie, as I tried it live on the air the other night. We'll see if this one's as slimy. It's a little like slimy. It's good though. So what's everyone drinking? Any comments in the chat room? Anyone drinking out there tonight? It doesn't have to be alcohol. It could be just any kind of a Diet Coke, a water, a tea. I like to know what people are drinking and eating. And what's for dinner? What's for dinner tonight? So I'm gonna take a little sip of this. Let's see. Let's see if it's just as slimy as last time. No. Maybe I had a bad one. It's not that slimy. Anyone? I know it's silence on the air. I'm on the radio. I'm not supposed to have silence, but here, I'll just drink it loud. It's better tonight. It was just because I'm really thirsty. I don't notice this slime. So yes, he got it. There you go. Comedy of errors. Joe got it. Comedy of mistakes. As we talked about, it's not really a mistake now, is it? It was destiny. Were you always destined to make that mistake, that error? Or was it there to show you to grow? People don't sometimes I feel like people don't want to think that we are literally here to grow and to evolve and to learn from our mistakes. And there's another one, it gets, I say I get deep on the show sometimes, but it's I don't know, people believe in past lives and stuff. Religion and all that, but if you think you were here before, or if you pick this, sometimes they say you pick your destiny before you come, and you have to learn these lessons, but you get them here with amnesia. You don't even remember what you were meant to learn until you're going through it. There's a lot of, again, these are all hypothetical questions just up for discussion. I don't push my beliefs on anyone. And we're just here chatting about it because these are the things that Hollis-tics is about. It's take a couple hours at night, or, I know I've been on the air for a while, but an hour or two, and it's just disconnect from the world of like I say, the humdrum, the matrix that we get sucked into that we have to be part of. You got to pay the taxes, you got to pay the bills, you got to pay the mortgage, you got to deal with whatever, stuff you don't want to go to, like doctor's appointments and things like that. Ugh. But come for a minute and just talk about the magical, mystical part. That's what I said last night. I like that button. It's Hollis-tics. Let's just decompress and forget about the humdrum of life, because it always swoops you back in that 3D world. As I talk about, you're having a good day, you're having a moment, you're dancing to the shadow dance, you're figuring things out, you're hearing Mark Woodiad play a beautiful concerto, and it's all ah! And then it's I always use the example, tax bill arrives, or I don't know, you had someone called and this happened, or someone leaves you a nasty comment, and you're like, wop, wop. You're back to the 3D world, the humdrum. That's why here we just discuss it. But for these hours, we are zen. I'm not that zen though, I guess. Zen is more you tune in, people just scroll away. My meditation, though, I played the other day. But that is what, like I said, I look forward to doing this because it's nice, and you see where the conversation goes. I know, like I say, it's a lot about me, but I mean, I'm here, I'm doing the show, so I am going to get some guest songs. I don't want it just to be all about me. I would love to have Mark on. I would love to have other musicians on. I have an author coming on. And I have a bunch of other people I've thought about. Just want to reach out and see if they'll pop on the screen and you do an interview and talk to them. And you guys will get to know them. And that's how we help each other, I always say. So what was I going to play? Oh, the comment of the day. That's what it was. Okay, so this one. Let's see. Let me go back to my media assets. Okay, so this is kind of a weird comment, but it's on par. Is that the one? No, I don't know if that makes sense. Par for the course. It's par for the course. That's a golf term. My dad, God bless you, Dad. My dad was a great golfer, but I know my golf terms. And if anyone knows a fun fact about me, some people say, where does your name come from? What's Hollis? And I said, my dad named me after a golfer, a famous golfer. That's where my name comes from. Hollis Stacy. And I could golf a bit. We go to Top Golf here. Timothy Shea, I don't think he's still in the chat room. Maybe he's there, but he remembers Top Golf. But yeah, I was actually named after a famous golfer named Hollis. And I don't remember at all why I started telling that little story, but it's just a tidbit about me. and my name. So comments of the day. Oh, it's saying this, it's kind of a weird, par for the course, but it's kind of it's on topic of what we're talking about. It's not a mean comment. It's not a hateful comment. It's kind of the first comment I got like this. And I guess it's kind of long. I'll just read it because we're talking about life and all these things. And they commented on, I forget what post it was. It was like after the show, I put little clips out because I said it's hard to get people aren't going to watch a whole 2-hour podcast. You guys do because you're the real fans and you're here live. It's a live experience because we're chatting, we're having fun. But so I put clips up after. But one was about, I think I was talking about the Michael Muir dad and Edenshire and God and I think it was the one where I was saying, is it all predetermined? What's our purpose? And just questioning and reflecting and all that. And they wrote this comment. So let's see. Let's do the comment. Let me pull it up here. If I could find it. I know it's here. I remember. I see it somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, but first, before I play it, I have to do this. All right. Here we go. Here's the comment of the day. And I'm going to put myself here. Oh, no, I can't. Okay. See how I said it's really long? I don't know. I'm like, who wrote this? Was this a human or was this ChatGPT? I clicked on his profile. He had like one video up there. But I guess, it's 9:23. So we still have a little bit of time here. I mean, we have as much time as we want. But there's no one telling me what to do. But I'm going to take a sip of my coconut water. And then we're going to attack this. Okay, the comment of the day from my Colton Ben 936 one day ago. Here we go. He says, life is the purpose and meaning of life. Life is the purpose and meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? Is a nonsensical question. Life already is meaningfulness. Life already is its own purpose. Also, we aren't spiritual beings having a human experience. We are beings, beings, experiencing beingness. To say that we are spiritual beings as compared to human beings is a needless and unnecessary distinction. There is no distinction between human beings, physical beings, or spiritual beings. They are one and the same. You are still seeking. This one who speaks to you now is the destination. Although preferably you might reach this destination, so to speak, without the immense and unbearable pain and suffering that forged me into what I am now. Preferably you can reach the same level of consciousness without the unbearable pain and suffering that I experienced, and without having to watch herself dying in real time. There is no judgment of you in these words. There's no grasping or neediness in these words. You have nothing to offer me, and there is nothing that I can be threatened with. I don't want anything from you. I don't care about your opinions or beliefs. I care about your beingness. Rather, I care about the beingness of which you are. I can see you perfectly clearly. Would you like to know what I see? I'll tell you what I see. I see a human being, a being who is exactly where they're supposed to be. There's no wrongness in you. There's indeed no wrongness in anything at all. Everything is perfectly all right. Even the immense and unbearable pain and suffering many of us experience. You are seeking as though there is something for you to find. This is the problem. You already are complete and whole. Hollis-tics. You are not missing anything. Enlightenment is not a person plus some spiritual stuff. Enlightenment is a person minus the person. When there is no more person in a person, and yet they are still alive, this is what enlightenment is. What enlightenment truly is simply a human being who is both no longer immature and also no longer insane. To be no longer insane and no longer mature is to have attained enlightenment. I did not need to say what I will now say, but I will say it anyways. I have the authority to speak such things. I wonder if you can tell. I wonder what your perception of these words is in this moment. I am endlessly curious. I will never look back at this quote comment. I will never see if anyone likes it or argues with me. No offense, but I will never return to see if you responded in any way. This is not a social performance. This is precisely that which you are seeking, speaking to you in real time. Doesn't seem so mystical or magical, does it? That's because it's not. I'm not some mystical, magical, spiritual being floating on a cloud, completely cut off from the rest of existence. I am existence itself, acting through the form of a human being who has died too many times to be anything else. There's nothing wrong with you. You do not need anything that you already do not have. No one is superior to you. Your opinions and beliefs are worthless, but your presence and your genuine insight is more valuable than all the money in the world. You would be wise to know these things about yourself. I suppose all I'm saying is that everything is already all right. And everything that means. Good luck. I wish you the best. You will likely never speak with another person such as myself ever again. For we are unimaginably rare. I wish you all the best and everything that means. Holy mo- to the stage. Oh, I know. Let's get rid of it. Okay, let's add me back. Gotta remove that. And, okay. And then here we go. Okay, so I'll check in the chat room, see if anyone's comment on that. That was long, but I read that too. It's it's like we're always like, when do you wonder who wrote that? Did they really write that? Was that a chat GPT thing? How did they why did they write it on there? I was glad they wrote it. I read it. I think it's cool because there's, like I say a lot of times, well, he said whole. We think that we're broken and that we're missing something, but I think that's it. It's always, we have everything we need actually already. It's just about remembering it, remembering that we actually are whole. And I like a beingness, right? Because that's, you could get into Buddha enlightenment and all that, and sitting and you just becoming one with the universe and all that stuff. I think that's what he was kind of saying. It's like we're always doing, trying, and then we're very hard on ourselves. Like, oh, maybe I should be there already. We're where we're meant to be. I do it too sometimes. Like, oh, man, I should be. We're exactly right now where we're meant to be. Otherwise, I don't think we would be here. Like, even the fact you guys we're where we're meant to be. So that's, welcome back. That is Dan's in the house. That is, I don't know, I think it's just something we remind ourselves. Like, it's a pretty deep comment. It's on one of my YouTube videos, but I liked what he said, and it just makes you think. I think it was kind of long. I could read it again, but like I said, that's the thing. It's just you're hard on yourself, and we make mistakes and errors. But it's like, what if we weren't? We just we did just be. But I talk about that again. I say the same thing a lot. It's just the matrix. It sucks you back out of the being, or it makes you. It sucks you back in, but it's also a choice. It's like, that's there. Like, we can't escape that. It's like, how do you deal with that? That's the hardest part. How do you keep your grounding, your inner peace when all the stuff outside is happening constantly? Is that that affects how that changes the inner? That's why, it's a lot of self work and stuff like that. Like, and when you grow, it's like when they say respond instead of react, when someone's younger and they have, or even older, I mean, it's not like anger issues. You react right away, like, or you get a bad comment or something. You're like, it's a reaction. And how do you learn just like, if you're really zen, you're like, it's something you can learn and get better at. Like, you respond instead of, someone writes you a nasty email. Do you respond right away and be really mean and wish you didn't send it? Because sometimes that's reaction. But if you could, like, they respond and think about it, or just like, okay, that whatever they said, or is that even true? Words, or like, it's how we deal with it. So I think that's pretty interesting. When someone's like, say when they're really in their ego, we got a comment. Oh yeah, we got a comment a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was a month or two ago at this point, and these people were going to come on the network, and they weren't. It's just like a long story, but I just wrote back to them. They wanted to come on the network, and I kept saying, well, we need help, and it's, we were doing a fundraiser because it's not cheap or easy or free to come on. And anyway, the guy was super immature, and he was just like, he wrote something really nasty back, and I wrote something I thought was pretty nice. I was just like, we could use help. Maybe check this link out of our fundraiser. Maybe you could throw in a bone. Throw in a bone. What is it called? Like, throw us a bone. Not even that. Like chip in a little bit. People want to take and not do the work, or they come and they want. And I said, on our network, it's like we like to help people, but it has to be back and forth because it is expensive to run. So it's just like, if you can't pay money, but what can you do? Are you really interested in us as the whole? And it was just ego. You could just tell they did not care about the mission or the real people. It was just like, how can I get millions of viewers, or will I get exposure? It was all ego. It was me. But anyway, he wrote something very, like, you could just tell. It was just like, right away, he wrote something like, well, screw you and your fake network, and you guys are, and good luck. No one watches you. And I'm thinking, well, you wanted to be on the network like 10 minutes ago. You were writing me all about it. And I was saying, like, maybe you could offer to help a little bit because then it would be going faster. But it was just all ego. I don't even know where I got with that. Oh, about reacting. And that's like immaturity. It's like, grow up a little bit. It's like, at what age are you going to finally, some people never grow out of it, but it's like, that's what I'm saying. When you get older, it's kind of like, don't send the nasty email right away. It's like, and you get tempted because people suck sometimes, but I don't know. So anyway, that was the comment of the day. So that was an odd comment of the day, but I appreciate it. And I know I'll never see that person again. And I think I liked it. I hearted it, but he said he's not going to look at it. So, and I will never get a comment like that or meet someone like that again. But, it's too bad because it'd probably be someone cool to talk to if that was indeed a person. I mean, I guess it could be ChatGPT or something, but why would they go and post that? But like I said, that was an odd comment. It wasn't good or bad. It was just kind of, okay. So maybe I'll add that to the comment of the day video compilation. If I do another one, I don't know if I'll do them every week. But anyway, I am Hollis Mahady, and you are watching Hollis-tics here. We are live. It's Wednesday night. Where's everybody tuning in from? I'm in Cleveland, Ohio here. Maybe someone in the UK is watching this. Maybe people on Facebook are watching this. I don't know. You let me know where you might be. And I will say, while we're at it, thank you. Oh, okay.
Like that. Boom. You're back.
Uh-oh. Thank you.
I've done it.
Thank you. He's done it. Literally on the mouse here, there's a little button on the side my thumb hit, and I just disappeared. Sorry about that. So, Jason's in the house. Hi, Jason. Thanks for coming in tonight. Good to have you here. I was just doing my nightly spiel as we get to almost the top of the hour again. No, it's the top of the half hour here. And letting those new viewers, wherever you might be, it said, drop a comment in the chat room if you're watching from somewhere. Where are you from? Let me know. And I am going to say, if you're enjoying the show, remember, support the show. If you're liking it, and you want to learn a little bit more, you could. Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady or scan the code you see on the screen. And I was looking for this commercial forever, and it was right here. But this is the music channel up on Voice of the People USA Radio, and we are broadcasting live there as well, VOPUSARadio.com. I am on the Health and Spirituality and Faith channel, and this is broadcasting live. So if you have Roku and you want to see a bigger screen, we got Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, it's all there. But this is the music channel that I was talking about earlier. Here we go. The music channel on Voice of the People USA Radio and Television Network. This channel exists to spark a revolution, to shine a light on the undiscovered talent and hidden gems of a new era in music. Built on a foundation of truth, freedom, and fearless exploration, our network gives a voice to artists without compromise, manipulation, or censorship.
This is the home of Voice of Freedom Records, where we protect and nurture the hearts, dreams, and visions of our artists with unwavering integrity. Born out of a deep need for something real, we are the alternative. A platform where true musicians and creators are celebrated without strings, without gimmicks, and without selling out. In a world oversaturated with noise, manufactured fame, and artificial voices, we choose quality over quantity. We stand for the real. Real music, real stories, real souls. Not robots, not algorithms, not empty trends. Here, music is sacred. Here, every true voice matters. And here, freedom sings.
Download your free copy of The Reconnection Movement today. Just head over to my website, www.hollismahady.com. Go to the podcast sections, scroll to the bottom of the page, and enter your email to get your free copy instantly. Now more than ever, it's important that we reconnect and support real human creators and real people.
It's been a long time in the making, and we poured everything into building this platform. But the past no longer matters. What matters is what we do from here. This was built by everyday people, sick of being suppressed, censored, and banned. It wasn't built by far-removed millionaires or trust fund kids. It was built by people willing to take a stand and create a space that actually matters. We're calling on those guided not by ego or personal gain, but by purpose and drive. People who don't ask, how can you help me? But ask, how can we help each other? Too many times, the world rewards those who take without giving back. We want something different. Our mission is to lift voices that have been silenced, to share the stories that rarely get heard, and to create a space where freedom, truth, and authenticity thrive. This isn't just a network, it's a community, a movement built by the people, for the people. The next chapter is about collaboration, courage, and amplifying what truly matters. That's where the future begins, and we want you in it.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, right? The voice of the people, guys. We are the voice of the people. And I had to laugh when I was looked in the chat room. This made me laugh, Joe. Interesting comment, I must say. I didn't understand one word of it, but interesting. Yeah, it was a little deep, a little like, wait, what? What? A little heavy. So I didn't understand some of it too. I didn't understand a lot of it. But like, wait, is he being nice? Is he being mean? I think he was just being. That was the whole point. It's like, just being. But he was there in the moment enough to at least to type it out. So, but I think, you know what I was thinking? I don't want to forget to do it. It's that time of the night for the drawing. Okay, let me get the drum roll. Get my sound bowl out. Should we do a little sound bowling? You know, as I was talking about the frequencies and 432 hertz. That's a thing. There's also, obviously, if you could do good sounds and make the world heal certain music and certain vibes and certain frequencies and vibrations, you could do it dark too. You could do, there's certain sounds that are like, I don't know, if you get into that stuff, especially the music industry stuff, there's different kinds of beats and stuff that are in certain songs that they say, you know, can like, I don't know, summon bad spirits or demonic things. I don't know. What do you guys think about all that stuff? Let's see. Okay, so speaking of that, I get off topic. Sometimes my mind runs away with what I'm saying, and sometimes my lips don't catch up with my mind, or maybe it's the other way around. My mind doesn't catch up with my lips. But let's get the sound bowl. Here we go. Dan's been waiting all night for this. Wait, hold on. There's a way to do this, and I just have a little one here. You can see all my papers are in there. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Hollis. I was going to say, good evening, everyone. You're listening to Hollis-tics. Thank you for joining me. There is a way. There's a whole thing about how to do it. I didn't learn it yet, obviously, but okay. So should we get on with the drawing? So what this is, if for instance you just tuned in possibly, or maybe you're just like, what are they doing? This is my little bowl. It's a sound bowl, but I'm actually just using this tonight because we're doing the drawing. Because if you see over on the left or right hand, I think it would be left for you. It's my right hand, but over here, we're under the QR code, or again, you can go and drop a tip if you want to be entered to win a hand painted lyric sheet. It says drop a tip to be entered to win a lyric painting. And we hit that goal because here we are on episode 10, and we hit that $100 goal because of all the generous people in there. And I said every time they donated, I dropped a name in the cup here, and every time. So if you sent a few of them, then your name went in there a bunch of times. So we're gonna pick the winner tonight, and then we're gonna start over again, and we're starting again from 0, and we'll see what happens if we get to that again, and we'll do another lyric sheet, and maybe it'll be Shadow Dance, maybe it'll be a different song. But here we go. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? I guess that's the thing. You can only hear me, but I can't hear you. Okay, let me just do the drum roll here. All the people, all those people bought me a coffee. Thank you so much. Let's get the little drum roll. Okay, I guess that's the thing. I have to do it like, okay. You can't see it, but I'm going to play the drum again as I pick it. Ready? Here we go. Okay, I have the winner in my hand. Okay, I'm going to open it up. And now I want to get the applause ready. And the winner of the hand-painted lyric sheet is I'm very happy about this, and well deserved. Everyone deserves to win, but there could only be one winner. And the winner is Joe. Joe is the winner tonight. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for everything. And because of all your support, you have won a gift. And you know what? I'm very excited to send this to you. I would be excited to send to anyone who entered. But Joe has been a super fan and very deserving of this. So thank you again. And I'm excited to send it to you. I actually went out yesterday and I have the envelope already. I got a pack of them. So that's going to be coming out to you. And it's a little snail mail. I don't know when it will get to you, but I'm going to send it out probably tomorrow. And I'm very excited. You won. You won the hand-painted lyric sheet. So I will pick out a special one for you because I have a lot to choose from. So yay, that's awesome. I'll do one more round of applause, guys. Good job. Good job. And I won't talk over this, but I think we should just do like a little dance because we're happy. I'm not going to talk because I realized if I talk over it, you can't really hear me that good. But this is the dance that we get happy when we do a giveaway. All right, enough of that. But yes, thank you for everyone who entered the drawing and they bought me a coffee. And you know what? The great thing is we're restarting it again and there's always a chance to win. So if you were just dropping in and you have no idea what is going on, or you're here and you actually stayed and you're like, well, what is she doing? I was celebrating because we pulled out a name, and Joe was the winner, and Joe was getting a hand-painted lyric sheet, and he was in the running because he bought me a coffee earlier this week, and he bought me a few coffees, so his name was there a bunch of times. So, congratulations. Now, let's move on. Let's move on to something else. I don't know. I'm never at a loss for words. It's because I think, different topics and things. But we're coming to the end of the show, unfortunately. So tomorrow, we'll talk about tomorrow. I have an idea. I do have an idea for a show tomorrow. Not for the show, but like a little topic we can talk about. So I'll save that for tomorrow. But unfortunately, we're coming to the end of the night. My voice is it's not tired. It's getting a little tired. And I can talk. So all those people out there, thank you guys for tuning in so much. And I am here every night at 7 p.m. I said, we're just showing up, getting consistent. I just got a tip about the sound bowl. Thank you, Timothy. I will try that again tomorrow. I can't, I don't want to do it on air because I'll probably mess it up again. Yes, there's definitely, there's an art to it. So I hope I didn't offend anyone with my misuse of the sound bowl, but there is an art to it. And you can make and there's really big sound bowls too. I remember when we went to Sedona, they were healing, with the sounds and stuff. And there was a really big one, and Dan actually stood in it, and the guy was like doing the gong. He was like, oh, so yeah, it's pretty interesting. Sound healing with sound. That's a big one. There's music therapists, and there's people who do that. But anyway, it's been a great show. I had a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed Shadow Dance. I hope you guys go and follow Mark Woody at Violin Extraordinaire. He's amazing, and hope to have him on the show sometime. And yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for the evening. But I will be back tomorrow night for show number 11. 11's a good number. 1111. Maybe we'll talk about that. 1111, numerology, angel numbers. 1111. Do you ever see 1111 on your microwave clock, or in your car, or on your alarm clock, or on your phone? Speaking of phones, I might have a new phone tomorrow at this time. We'll see. We're supposed to go tomorrow and get a phone. So 1111. Yeah, we'll be able to talk about that kind of stuff. There's so much cool things in the world. Like I said, this is the time when we come into Hollis-tics here, and we forget about the humdrum of the ordinary world, and we just dive into our magical world. Magical, mystical, magical mystery tour. Yeah, that's the Beatles. 432 hertz, all that good stuff. So much more to come. And we are just getting warmed up here. I'm just getting warmed up on episode 10. So we're on 11 tomorrow. And of course, Friday will be TGI Fridays. So with that said, guys, I will queue up. Board up, Hollis. Yes. Can you cue up the outro song of Lights but from Epidemic Sounds? Oh, yeah, sure. Let me make it right. Get right on that. Let's see. Here we go. We're going to cue up the outro song, and we're going to say our goodbyes. Here it is. Lights. I like it. Oh, no, it just plays automatically. So with that said, I'll do my closing remarks to remind everybody here today. One, I'd like to take a moment and say thank you, God. Thank you for bringing us here together today. If you happen to watch this on a replay, if you're on the X or wherever you might be finding this or watching it, I always say thank you. Thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for joining me, for letting me be in your living room or in your, wherever you might be listening to this or watching, or, in your car or wherever you are. Thank you for listening, for enjoying and spending this time together with everyone. I had a great time. And again, if no one told you today, if you're out there and you're struggling, or hopefully you're doing good. I always like to hear about, if you're not, that's okay too. If you're struggling and maybe you're feeling down or you're feeling alone, I always like to say you're never alone. I'm here. I'm Hollis. We have a whole chat room full of awesome people. If you could find a way to chat and you want to come and join us, meet friends. That's why I am doing what I'm doing, to reconnect. You're never truly alone. We're never alone. So in case no one told you, not no one ever, but in case no one told you today, I like to also do this at the very end to give yourself a round of applause, because you're doing good. Hang in there. Don't give up, whatever it is. Yeah. And with that said, Hollis, that's me, Hollis has queued up. Oh, I just have to hit end stream and it'll play it. Okay. So 9:51. All right. Almost 3 hours in the bag there. All right, guys. I'm signing off. I'm Hollis Mahady. Again, go to hollismahady.com if you want to be notified every day that when the show is starting. I will be sending out emails. I haven't started doing it yet, but sign up for that email list. That's the best way to stay connected. If you happen to stumble upon this and you like it and you're like, hey, how do I see this again? The best way is go over to hollismahady.com, sign up for that email list, and I will send out a reminder when the shows are. And, you know, if you miss an episode, I'll send out the reruns and things like that. And you can also sign up for my music. All right, guys. I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow, Thursday night, here on Hollis-tics and on Voice of the People USA Radio and Television Network. Have a great one, and I'll see you soon. Good night.
Thank you for watching Hollis-tics, hosted by me, Hollis Mahady. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady. You can make a one-time donation or become a member for just a few dollars a month to get extra podcasts and exclusive behind-the-scenes content you won't find anywhere else. Or simply scan the code on the screen. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me continue creating independent content for you. If you like the music featured in this show, I license it through Epidemic Sound. You can head over to hollismahady.com, click on the podcast page, and use my link for a free trial. And don't forget to check out VOPUSARadio.com, where I host my music channel and am building a growing community of independent musicians. If you're interested in joining the network, just click Join Network and submit an application. Until next time, remember that you are loved and never alone. From human to human, big hugs. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy the outro video. I love this song.
Lights shining from the window late at night. I'm just watching someone else's life go by, wishing it was mine. Dreams, everybody has them at the start. Somewhere along the way they fall apart, and it makes it kind of hard to look up at the lights. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I can finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. Try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I can finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. When you wish upon a star just to find out it's a plane, and when you think you've come so far, but you're standing still again, and you finally understand. When the lights go out, everything is clear. When the lights go out, I could finally see. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I Try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't.